Oh, gather round and lend me your ear. This is the tale of two-tier Keir, known across the land as the Granny Harmer, a soulless little man who betrayed the farmer. Hey! He stands at the podium talking shite. No backbone, no fire, just an embarrassing sight. A puppet for donors that pull on his string. Can't answer a question, can't deliver anything. Keir Starmer's a wanker. Keir Starmer's a wank, wank, wank. Keir Starmer's a wanker. A liar, a coward, a wank, wank, wank. Starmer's a parasite lining his nest. A two-faced liar, no better than the rest. A man with no passion, a puppet, a plank. Now let's be honest, the guy's just a wank. Keir Starmer's a wanker. Keir Starmer's a wank, wank, wank. Keir Starmer's a wanker. A liar, a coward, a wank, wank, wank. A knight of the realm, he's a bloody disgrace. A deceitful fraud who would lie to your face. He'd hand back our freedom, betray what we won, to crawl back to Brussels, the toolmaker's son. So raise up your glasses, let's make it clear. We've all had enough of two-tier Keir. He promised us plenty, delivered us nought. So shout it together, we want him out! Keir Starmer's a wanker. Wank, wank, wank. Keir Starmer's a wanker. Wank, wank, wank. Keir Starmer's a wanker. Wank, wank, wank. Keir Starmer's a wanker. Wank, 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 wank.
El Shaddai, Almighty King, to you alone I lift my offering. Jehovah Jireh, you provide. In every storm, you're by my side. El Elyon, the Most High One, bright morning star, the risen sun. Adonai, sovereign Lord above, clothed in justice, mercy and love. You are my God, forever the same, forever the same. Mighty and holy, I bless your name. Alpha, Omega, Omega, beginning and end. You are my God, my Savior, my everything. Jehovah Rapha, Lord who heals, your power and truth forever revealed. Jehovah Nissi, my banner raised, to you alone belongs all praise. The great I am, unchanging one, who was and is to come. Emmanuel, God with us still, ruler of all, whose word fulfilled. You are my God, forever the same, forever the same. Mighty and holy, I bless your name. Alpha, Omega, Omega, beginning and end. Yeah, you are my God, my Savior, my everything. Jehovah Shalom, my perfect peace, your love and grace. of grace, Lamb of God who bore my shame. Yes, you are the matchless name, Lion of Judah, strong and bold, Ancient of days, whose truth is told. You are my God, forever the same, forever the same, mighty and holy, mighty and holy. I bless your name. Omega, Omega, beginning and end. You are my God, my Savior, my everything. Abba, Father, lift you high. Holy Spirit, be ever nigh. Counselor, Comforter, guiding light. Your presence turns death to life. You are my God, you are my God. Forever the same, forever the same. Mighty and holy, mighty and holy. I exalt your name. Alpha, Omega, beginning and end. God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit, my everything.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's live stream. I shall be unleashing two spectacular guests in a few moments who have already joined the panel. If everybody wants to have their camera on or off, it's entirely up to them. They can turn it off if they want to turn it off, or they can leave it on if they want to leave it on. But before I bring them on, I want to congratulate Tommy Robinson and all the guests at the brilliant, what I would say was a demonstration, an exhibition, and the fight for freedom in London yesterday. It was a marvel. I actually had the pleasure of co-watching it with Raj, even though we were watching it in completely different locations. We were communicating via chat, and it's actually a very good way of watching any type of demonstration with Raj on the other side of the line. So big up to Raj for keeping in touch in that respect. I was a little bit saddened that I didn't see Richard Inman there, because those of us who follow Richard, we know he's one of the best speakers in the country. So maybe next time we'll see Richard Inman there. And also, as we know, Charlie Kirk was murdered by a complete sick and mentally deranged individual. And what I took strength, well, first of all, we need to have our thoughts and prayers for his family, but I was completely gobsmacked of the strength his wife showed when she gave the speech literally hours after his murder. And if anybody says that women are not strong, we're completely proven very, very wrong. What a heroic woman. And, we thank God that he gave her the strength to do that. All right, guys, without further ado, I'm bringing everybody on. Good evening, Jordan. Good evening, Raj. How are we doing?
Good evening, good evening, good evening.
Hello there, mate.
How are you? Look at, is that one of, how many dogs do you have, Jordan?
This is Gamora. I got two.
You got two.
Gamora. Come on.
You know, Raj's Islamic fan base won't be able to watch the live stream because dogs are not allowed in halal countries.
Yeah, take that dog out. You can't let the Muslims get triggered by a doggy. No, I'm joking. I love dogs, man. I love dogs. I used to have two staffs. Sadly passed away, man. And then we got new ones as well. So, yeah. What breed is that?
She's a cane courser.
Oh yeah, I've seen them. I've seen them about quite a lot in London.
So
He's
who?
trying,
Yeah.
So which
trying to
dog?
get to the door because my boy's just come back with some burgers. So she
Yeah.
knows what's going on in the kitchen. So she's trying to get that way.
So
She don't want to listen to the stream.
I think she'd prefer the burgers.
Yeah.
so which dog type has the strongest bite force?
Well, you trying to get you want to get bitten, do you?
No, but I know the cane corser has the second strongest bite force
All right.
in all the dogs.
And do you know what's weird? You're saying a burger, beef burger, and we're going to talk about cows.
Yeah, yeah.
Was that a planned, kind of like planned sort of like in a meal?
It's the kids. They only seem to eat cheeseburgers and rubbish. They're 13, aren't they, man? So yeah, they've just gone down to the local shop to go and get the food. So it's about 2 minutes before we went live, the buzzer went, and she knew that was the boy coming back with food.
Mm.
So Raj, did you know Jordan is an ordained priest?
Oh, wicked, man! Cool looking priest. Well done, man. You're looking good, man. I wouldn't have thought that. It's good to meet an ordained priest, which is great.
Don't encourage him. He loves his tattoos.
Yeah, but the thing is like there's another one on the TikTok who's like he's a very modern priest. He's on skateboards and stuff, and I think you need to have the priests and stuff that people don't think. I'm not saying you have to go full kind of goth or anything, but yeah, have some kind of like that you can relate to the people that you're preaching to is good.
You just got to be careful you don't go to the verge of looking a bit too Charlie Manson. That's the only worry.
Yeah. Obviously, you don't want to walk in. You got eyeliner like a full-on goth dressed in black in God's church. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah, definitely.
So Raj, what did you think of yesterday's demo? Let's get your opinion, then we get Jordan's opinion.
Oh God, I have to be truthful. I thought it was a mess. I was very disappointed. I think the stuff that I heard, although I agree there's a lot of issues in the UK, so much stuff was so reckless that I can't stand by it. Yeah, I'm sorry to everyone listening. I just can't. I'm not going down that route. But although I agree with a lot of issues that are going in the UK with immigration and, like the booming epidemic and extremism from, the Islamic side and stuff like that. But I think it was just too reckless. The speakers were talking in a way that, you're basically not giving anyone any choice. Like it's either you, I don't really want to say too much. Let's just say I wasn't pleased. Hopefully that didn't ruin your whole stream now.
No. I thought, well, firstly, everybody in the chat, thanks for letting me know that my mic didn't sound great. Hopefully that's sorted itself out.
Sounds like you're in the toilet.
I'm glad you've said it. I'm struggling to hear you, Manny. You're really echoey and quiet.
Sounds like he's in a toilet.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much. Does that sound better? I'm shouting now.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, well, look, I really enjoyed yesterday's demo. I thought it was a success, but obviously everybody's entitled to their opinion. But we'll come back to Raj. Jordan, you were actually there. You made the effort to go down. Why don't you enlighten us what it was like to be kettled by the Metropolitan Police?
I had the time of my life. It was like being 19 again. It was great. Everybody I spoke to, they were lovely. Really, really nice people. Yes, most of them were angry. Most of them were shouting. But it was all the police's fault, right? How it worked out, about 1 million to 2 million people had turned up and then managed to do the march and get in over the bridge, right? But the numbers were huge. There must have been 3-4 million people there, right? Because over 1 million people, they blocked the end of the bridge off and stopped them going into the event, right? And then started to shuttle them backwards, back off the bridge, right? Where there was another row of police, right? So everyone was being crushed. One of my girls got knocked to the floor and nearly trampled. We had to drag her back up off the floor. So that put me in a bad mood straight away because it was so unnecessary. The only reason it was going on is because as you know, Tommy Robinson and the organisers, they had to go through councils, chief of police, everybody to get to organise something. So they had a place to do, and it was all done properly. Where the Stand Up to Racism, Antifa, and the Pro Palestine just decided to stick loads of posters in all the cities to say, "Come along and we'll counter protest it," and the police facilitated them. They let them march right on top of the Patriot protesters, and that's why they ended up having to shut everything off. And there was like 1 million people constantly just trying to find a way into the event, and everywhere you went, there was a police row facing you. Um, we we ended up breaking through 2 or 3 police lines, and then we realised what was going on because we split through the middle of the pro-Palestine Stand Up to Racist and Antifa march, and we somehow they'd ended up being there must have been a couple of hundred of them altogether, maybe a few more, right? But they'd ended up being like penned in by patriots on both sides, and you must have been talking 50,000, 100,000 plus, right? It was so busy, right? It was crazy, absolutely crazy. But to see that the country has finally woken up, wow. The junior's out now. That's not going back into no lap, man. Right? The country has woken up, and I don't know about you, but I've been hoping this country wakes up for decades.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Raj used to be like us, but I've noticed Raj has mellowed down an awful lot. Raj, why don't you show us how much you've reversed your?
Yeah, I got my. Just want to announce a few days ago, I had my little Lulla snipped, just to show solidarity with my Winkle snip, just to show solidarity with my Muslim brothers. So that's how far I've gone. No, I don't think I've really changed my mind. I've always been that. I think there's a problem. I think that march overall, I think it was peaceful. I didn't see too much kind of like disorder considering the size. Obviously, you can have a few pockets of issues and stuff. My issue wasn't necessarily how it was organized and stuff in terms of the way people behaved around there. I just didn't like the fact that the people that came onto the platform, it's supposed to be about unite the kingdom, and I'm sorry, a lot of the stuff that was said was too inflammatory for me. I'm sorry. I mean, I would have said the same thing 5 years ago. I haven't changed. I've always had this stance that I don't want to become. I don't want to lose my humanity in dealing with an issue like this, right? I still want to keep it, and I think when you get to the stage where people are calling for certain things, I can't condone it. Yeah, I can't condone it.
You're going to give us specific examples of what?
Yeah, I mean, there was an American lady who was basically saying that all the you-know-whats are rapists and they're coming for your kids and all this, and we need to get rid of them. There was another guy, I can't remember his name. I think he could have been I don't even know who he was, but he was a grey-haired guy saying the same thing, that we've got to get rid of them all and all this kind of stuff. You had Elon Musk outrightly saying that they're coming for you, and we need to use violence because they're going to use violence against us. Very divisive language, right? And some people I thought done very well, like and Middleton. I liked what he said. He was very kind of like, this is the UK and we welcome people, but you've got to fit under the umbrella of being British, and you can't just bring in everything lock, stock and barrel that is your way here. You've got to compromise. I also think, weirdly, I thought Katie Price, what's her name? what's her name, man? That lady.
Hopkins.
I think she kind of like, although she's quite harsh, I think she still kind of had that kind of umbrella thing about, okay, we'll accept you if you kind of like, fit in. Yeah, and there was a few people that said certain things I agreed with, but some of them were just way beyond the pale for my liking. The speakers, not the people.
We never actually got to the event, so anything that I've seen from the speakers has been the day on YouTube. Even though we drove like 200 miles to go, that's why I took my kid. I had my triplets with me. We were going to do the event and just have a little bit of a good time and party. soon as we got there, right, we tried to buy our tickets. Where was it we parked? West what? Is it West Ruislip we parked? And we found some free parking because there was a couple of cars of us. And we parked on the side of the road there and we jumped on the tube. But as soon as we bought the ticket, right, instantly we realised that Westminster was cancelled. All services to Westminster was cancelled. Right, obviously to try and stop people in and out the area. So we got off at, where was it? We got off Blackfriars then. What's the one before Blackfriars?
Embankment?
Embankment, yeah. We got off there and we started trying to walk back from there. We don't know London, right, at all, right? So we was kind of looking to see where the crowd were going and picking our better judgment. What you're seeing on the screen now, this is me filming it, right? And this is kind of our journey. That bridge there, look, they were being battered. All them people, plus all these down here, were trying to get to the event, right? What they're showing you, I mean, the amount of people that were in that event is breathtaking. But imagine how big it would have been if everybody would have got in. But they allowed.
Yeah, I personally believe, Jordan, that most of the people that went there went with good intention. I don't think they were racist, most of the people. I think people have genuine concerns and want to kind of like vent that. And protesting is good and doing marches and stuff. I think a lot of people didn't hear that. And I didn't even hear the whole thing while I was watching it because it was lagging and I was kind of like, doing other stuff. And I had to watch it later properly. And then when I watched it properly, I was like, okay, this wasn't what I was expecting in terms of the speeches. I think the whole kind of the march and the way it was organised was good. I think one of the problems is, Manny, I don't think Richard Inman was involved because Richard Inman, I've always felt the reason I kind of stuck with the Tommy movement up to a point was like, I thought Richard Inman was the kind of voice of reason, right? And I'm not sure whether he's involved anymore. I mean, do you know?
I don't know. No, but well, he's certainly, Richard is certainly supporting Advance UK, same as Tommy. He does frequent panels with, I can't remember the chap's name now, Paul something. I don't see too much of him, but anyway, he's a big YouTuber. He's very popular. So I was just surprised, but like yourself, I'm a fan of Richard. We both have met him, and he's a very, he's a brilliant patriot. So I was just shocked. I haven't really looked into it. I haven't really tried to contact anyone.
Yeah, I would. I mean, if you could, because I think the problem is, whenever he was involved with stuff, I always thought that there was a sort of kind of like a calming effect on the people around him, right? And that's one of the reasons I kind of like went to certain places because I knew he was going to be there, right? And if he's not in there, I think maybe things kind of lost control a bit because he's kind of like experienced and kind of is the way he handles stuff. I think he would have probably would have advised the organisers maybe not have that person or that person on, and maybe because he wasn't involved that it went the way it did.
I will say this: Tommy is a pro-speech, activist, free speech activist, and he doesn't, or nobody does in his team, try to filter what any speaker is going to say. Tommy, if you think somebody said something slightly distasteful, which you've said that you are, that won't be because of Tommy. Is because Tommy just provides the platform.
No, I disagree. If I organise an event this large, and it's about uniting the kingdom, I would make sure I know the people coming on, what they're going to say, and kind of even prep them and say, look, I don't want you to divide the nation.
Nobody asked me what I was going to say when I went on.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that I think at the moment it's a very different situation at the moment. I think things are very, very kind of like, let's say, volatile, and so any kind of like speech that might aggravate that is going to be problematic, I think, at this particular time.
You feel a bit concerned that this is going a bit too fast. That's the impression I get.
No, not fast. I think it's going too far.
How? Just explain to everybody and to me and Jordan what you mean two
Okay,
sides.
can we'll talk about it later on because I've only got like 2 hours, and let's go on to the Red Heifer thing because I kind of want to
Okay.
talk about that if I could.
Okay, fine. All right. Who wants to start? I'll keep this video running so we have some graphics until you guys want me to play a video. Who wants to? Shall we get
Yeah.
Jordan to give us a synopsis on what the whole Red Heifer?
Can you mute the sound though? Because I think sound's coming through from the video.
Really? Is it?
Yeah, so we can hear it.
Oh.
I can hear it.
I can, yeah.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
then it's gone quiet.
Can I start if I can, Manny?
Yeah.
Go on.
So the reason I kind of like, oh god, I think someone's got an echo. Is it me or is it you?
What?
Who's got an echo? I don't know if it was my fingers going. Can you hear an echo?
I can't.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Very slight one.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't think it's mine because I haven't got anything going on. So basically, one of the reasons I wanted to do this because we spoke about Israel and Palestine the other week, the Gaza conflict, and I kind of feel like one aspect that isn't really talked about enough is the actual religious end time prophecy kind of aspect of it, which all three Abrahamic faiths. I know some people don't agree Islam is Abrahamic, but you're talking about Islam does have a end time prophecy in terms of the Jewish population, Christians, and Jerusalem and Al-Aqsa Mosque. And also, obviously, the Christians have an end time prophecy in relation to the land of Israel, and so does Jews, right? And I thought it'd be good to sort of cover that aspect because I think we need to kind of like put that into the mix in order to understand what is going on. Because I think once you take that out, you're going to start. You just don't. It seems like kind of irrational the way people are behaving. Because the whole reason we're going to go on about the Red Heifers is because Hamas actually said when they attacked on October the 7th, if someone could clarify that for me, one of the reasons why they gave as well is that Israel bring in the Red Heifers.
Yeah. Israel's
Yeah.
got red cows.
Yeah.
Israel's got red cows. That's how it was translated. Right. They were brought in from Texas. Right. And apparently he's a Christian who sent them in, but I'm not sure. And they got there was 5 of them. Now, some people say that one of them grew a couple of dark hairs and it was cancelled because it wasn't pure enough. So recently, I think it was 4 weeks ago, they had a practice apparently where they slaughtered the red heifer in the right area. Right, everything they did was right. They slaughtered the red heifer, and they burnt the red heifer down to the ashes they need. Mixed the ashes with spring water, right, and that's the practice. So it's ready, so they can sprinkle it all over the Temple Mount, ready for the construction of the purifying the mount, ready for the construction of the temple, right? And 4 weeks ago they said it. The Temple Institute in Israel say it was a rehearsal, right? But there's enough people over there that are reporting it wasn't. And in the Bible, I can't see anywhere where it says it needs to be made public, right? That could have well been the red heifer sacrifice because it was meant to. They've got real strict laws, right?
So can I ask that from a Christian perspective, is this the sacrifice in the red heifer also in the New Testament, and that do you agree with it in terms of like Christianity? Is it something that needs to be done?
No. So when Christ was crucified, that was the end of all sacrifice. From that day, there should be no more sacrifice. Right? It's by the Jews. By the Jews now doing repeating the sacrifices, ready to build that temple, right? That's completely against Christian beliefs, right? We'd be much happier if it never happens, but obviously it's prophesied, so it is going to happen.
So does a Temple Mount have to be built on Al-Aqsa Mosque? Or can it be built? Because I've heard that it's some people are saying that it doesn't have to be. It can be slightly off because maybe the measurements haven't been correct. I mean, what's your view on that?
It's got to where that mosque is, right? If you go inside that mosque, you'll see a funny stone with funny shape to it. There, they say it was where Ishmael was almost sacrificed by Abraham, but obviously that's wrong because the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Bible said it was Isaac, that not Ishmael, that was nearly sacrificed. And that rock there, there's kind of like an engraved cutout on it, which is the exact size.
Have you got a picture of it that you can put onto the screen so I can have a look at it?
It's the exact size of the Ark of the Covenant. So it looks like that's where the Ark of the Covenant sits in the middle, in the Holy of Holies. So it looks like that bit there is definitely what the temple needs.
So do you know in the end time prophecies of do you know in the end time prophecy for Muslims, they actually believe Al-Aqsa Mosque is going to be destroyed?
Yes.
Before their Messiah is going to come. So it's kind of, they're also expecting it to be destroyed. I think Christians are expecting the Temple Mount to be built on top of it. So it has to be destroyed from that aspect. So what's your kind of belief that what's stopping it? Is just political reasons? And because everyone agrees it's going to be gone.
No, the Bible says the first thing we've got to watch out for is a peace treaty. Right, as soon as that peace treaty is made, there'll be hold on a second, 3.5 years of peace. It's the 7-year tribulation period. There'll be 3.5 years of peace. Right, during that 3.5 years, right, they'll be building that temple. They'll build the temple. Somewhere slap bang halfway, that's when the Antichrist stands in the temple, declares himself God. Then you've got the desecration where I don't know what's going to happen. Biggest theory is somebody or something's going to sacrifice a pig on the altar, right? And it'll be desecrated, right? And then it's all going to kick off. That's when it's going to get really bad. I mean, then the peace treaty period ain't necessarily going to be nice, right? But that 3.5 years afterwards, that's when it's going to get really bad. That's when we're going to all end up with microchips in the back of our hands and stuff. And
because they've already brought, from my understanding, the Jewish people have already brought all of the stuff that they need. It's all been kind of like constructed, all the kind of ornaments and stuff. It's just a matter of building the Temple Mount now. In terms of getting everything done. And yeah, I do agree with you about the Red Heifer. I checked on it. I think it had a couple of hairs that were not red. And so it wasn't actually, what's it called? It wasn't actually ready.
Yeah. They've got literally everything, right? A lot of people class him as conspiracy theory, but Ron Wyatt in 1981 found the Ark of the Covenant, right? I have heard Israeli ministers recently being asked questions. What are you going to do about the Ark of the Covenant? And they've said, we know where it is. We've known for a long time.
Can you explain what you believe the Ark of the Covenant to be? Because I've got a particular view of it, but I mean, I might be wrong, but what's your kind of view of the Ark of the Covenant?
The Ark of the Covenant, it's a tricky one. It seems to be somewhere which has the presence of God contained. The mercy seat, I know exactly what that was. That was the mercy seat is where when the Jews do a slaughter, they drip the blood. I believe it's on the left-hand side of the mercy seat. The right-hand side was always kept clean. Right, that was part of the rules. But the left-hand side of the mercy seat is where the blood has to drip on from the sacrifice. So I'm losing my voice a bit. I was shouting a lot yesterday. And the right-hand side, right, strangely enough, if you look into the Ron Wyatt where he found the Ark of the Ark of the Covenant, he found it under the Jeremiah's grotto. On top of Jeremiah's grotto is where the crucifixion site is. He found 3 cross holes in the floor, permanent cross holes with the stones over the top of them, and he saw a strange crack, like a split in the rock, which he could see deep through. When he actually got into and found the Ark of the Covenant, he could see light through that crack, And
What you're saying? They found a like the because I've heard a story about the Ark. Obviously, I saw it in Raiders of the Lost Ark. I'm not Christian myself, like, but I do have interest in this for various reasons, right? And obviously, the Ark of the Covenant was in the Raiders of the Lost Ark, right? And when they opened it, they actually evaporated the guys. But I've heard stories that people that actually touched the Ark of the Covenant, when they opened it, they had symptoms similar to radiation. Poisoning, yeah, like from a nuclear kind of fallout, right? Have you heard of that?
Strangely, yet again, Ron Wyatt, when he left there in 1981, right, he left them obviously with the Ark of the Covenant there inside the grotto. X amount of years later, I can't remember the figure, he says, he got a phone call from people in Israel asking him to go back over because they tried to move the Ark of the Covenant and 2 people had been struck dead. So he had to go out. He had to go over there and help remove the bodies out.
I'm talking about in the past as well. Like, stories about people. I can't remember where I heard it. I might be wrong, but it might just be a kind of like conspiracy thing that in the past, or when they were holding it or near it, it would basically make people sick if it wasn't closed. And the symptoms that they described was like radiation poisoning almost.
Well, strangely, if you look at the Shroud of Turin, right, where you've got the image of Jesus, nobody knows where that image was there, right? And the only way they can describe that is like a radioactive flash that must have happened inside the shroud to produce the negative image, right? And that sounds very much like the power of the Ark of the Covenant.
So am I wrong? Are you agreeing with me that it's got symptoms like radiation poisoning and stuff?
Yeah. The Ark of the Covenant was used as a weapon, wasn't it? It was used for Jericho and everything.
Yeah.
So
in Raiders of the Lost Ark, obviously I'm going on to a movie, but the actual design of it was like a kind of like a golden kind of box with like side handles. Is that totally wrong, or is that similar to it? Or
perfectly right. If you have a look at this is actually quite weird. If you have a look at a lot of the footage of President Trump at the moment, he sits in a room and he's got a perfect copy of the Ark of the Covenant.
Dude, who's that? Sorry, who's that dude in the middle there? Who's this guy?
Which one?
Speaking. This guy speaking.
Turn him up. Let's listen to him.
Who the hell is that? Sorry for stopping the conversation, but I just saw him. I was like, who's that?
Manny, turn him up. Reverse him a bit and turn him up. He does a little speech and he's brilliant.
Never seen him before.
If there's ever a reason to stop paying your council tax, this is it. This is your reason never to pay your council tax. If you never pay your council tax, these dickheads are going to have to cut services a little bit. And who knows, they might not be dealing with the good people of Great Britain anymore, and they might deal with some fucking crime.
We'll go back to the conversation. We've missed a little dude.
Massively outnumbered, admittedly. Hold on.
You there?
Sorry, Jordan, what are you saying?
It's all right. We missed a little dude. He says a little.
Oh, don't worry. We'll go back later on.
Yeah.
When
He
you're
Stop paying your council tax. This is it. This. Hold that way a second.
Or senior Westminster police will be distracted themselves from fighting against people that they are supposed to be protecting. You swear I know it's to protect the British citizen, but on your threat, it just is...
If you've ever seen a reason to stop paying your council tax, here it is. It's a good sign, isn't it? I had to catch it on my camera.
Yeah, well, he basically does a little speech, right?
Yeah.
And he says, all these police officers here standing against people with British flags. He says, I haven't even realised they've got a British flag on their uniform.
Yeah, the thing is, he's very little and he gives a speech. That was a good description.
Yeah.
That's what kind of I saw as like a little bit. Can I ask you a question about the whole this end time prophecies? What I've realised is the Catholics don't believe in. Am I wrong? The Catholics don't believe in this end time prophecy of the Temple Mount having to be built? Or am I wrong? Or is it only the Protestant denomination that believes in it?
No, it's in their Bible, right? They are meant to believe it, right? But the Catholics have been watered down. It's really strange, right?
Okay.
It's really strange. The Catholics, I don't, personally, and a lot of people don't like. I don't even think they're Christian anymore. I mean, one of the last things the Pope did was change the Ten Commandments to the green commandments, the
Yeah.
ones that protect the planet. And one of the
Yeah.
other
I
things
mean,
he said is, what was it? We observe the Ten Commandments, but not as absolute. What sorts
yeah. I
of
mean,
an
I realized there was a bit of an issue a couple of years ago. I went to a Catholic church, and there was so many statues everywhere of Mary and stuff. And then when I looked into it, the second commandment was that thou shalt not make graven images, and the Catholic Church actually removed that. And I think they doubled one of the other ones. So it's kind of weird. I'm not going to say they're not Christians, but they have taken out the whole biblical thing about the. So you believe do you believe the Jews are like the chosen people still?
Oh, very difficult, very difficult. You got to
Mm,
work out who the Jews are for a start. Now, the ones
yeah.
that we've got at the moment in Israel, if you
Mm,
look, I believe it was 1933, Hitler made an
mm,
agreement before the start of the Second World War to send 60,000 Jews to what is
mm,
now Israel and the Gaza Strip. Right, there wasn't any Jews really there before. They sent
okay.
60,000 German Jews there. So are they the real Jews in Israel? Right. Also,
Let's just say let's just give it for granted that they are the Jews, right? Because that's going to be a long conversation. But do you believe that that land is biblically theirs, and so all of this kind of like
yes,
the land of it? Do you believe
yes,
that?
yes. I
Okay.
believe it's promised to the real Jews. Who the real Jews are, I haven't pinpointed yet. Right.
Okay.
John the Baptist was a Essene Jew. Right.
Mm,
Now they disappeared from history about the 3rd, 4th century. The Essenes were the people who wrote and hid the Dead Sea Scrolls. Right. So I'm guessing they're the closest to the Jews that you're going to get. Right.
mm,
That would have, and you would have had the Levi tribe obviously being promised through Moses. But
yeah.
are the dog's just picked up a plastic bottle. Well done. Are the Levi's we got today the same as the Levi's in Moses' days? Probably not. Right?
Mm.
Genetically, they're probably a million mile away. Right? Where the Essenes are nowadays, nobody knows. Right? So,
What's
yeah,
the before? Do you know what the Orthodox view on this is? 'Cause I actually didn't check. Do they believe in the same end time prophecy as like the Protestants, or is it different? Because I didn't check
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
Orthodox.
yeah, 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 yeah. They believe in it too. Right? It's
All right.
mainstream. Right? There's
So,
not many. Jehovah's Witnesses don't.
yeah. Oh, yeah. But Jehovah's Witnesses don't actually believe in. I don't know. I'm not going to say they're not Christian, but they definitely like believe something very different
They believe that
from
Jesus
what I've
was
seen.
crucified on a stick. Crucified on a stick. I
On
can't
a what?
imagine how you get. Jesus was crucified on a stick.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
don't know how they did
And
that.
Mormons are. I don't even know if they're Jews, but the thing is, back to the Red Heifer thing. Now, the thing is, I know in America, because obviously there's a lot of evangelical Christians, and they're the ones that support Israel the most. And you're right, they did try and breed a full red cow that had no blemishes and stuff like that. And you're right, the guy that sent Elliot was an American. But I don't think it kind of like, it come to fruition and stuff like that. Yeah, there's a problem with it. But the thing is that, do you know anything of the kind of Islamic side end time prophecy? Because it's actually linked as to why Hamas is kind of like, they mentioned it.
Right. They know basically. Soon as that red heifer sacrifice is done, right?
Mm,
They have got the mixed water they need to purify the Temple Mount. They know
mm,
their mosque is coming down, and ain't that the
mm.
second most holy site in Islam?
Yeah. Second month,
So
yeah.
they are obviously they believe that Muhammad did he fly
Mm.
a unicorn to heaven and come back or something
Yeah, I
like
think
that.
he flew over. I don't know if it was a winged horse, and then he went to Jerusalem, and that's why it's there. I think if anyone knows, just clarify for me, because I think that's what I heard though.
So obviously they've got their own things tied to that spot, right?
Yeah.
So all along it, that's why you need the peace treaty first, because without that peace treaty, that mosque isn't coming down. That's World War
But,
III. That's the start of
but
World
what
War
about Gog and
III.
Magog? I heard something about Gog and Magog when I was researching a bit. I don't know if that's. I know Muslims believe in this Gog and Magog, and it's related to the end times. But is that something in the Bible, the Torah, or is it something that's completely their own thing? Because they've kind of like taken a lot of stuff from the Old Testament and the New
It's
Testament.
mentioned in both. It's mentioned in both. And weirdly, I've got my own theory on Gog and Magog. Gog and Magog were two giants. They were from King Lud's days. Strangely enough, King Lud was the guy who started London. Gog and Magog are still today. They're the mascots for the city of London. Right now, the city of London is the powerhouse for the world, financial, everything. Even now, while we're skint, it's still the financial powerhouse of the world. I've got a funny feeling Gog and Magog is as simple as a reference to the city of London.
Which one though? Gog or Magog? Who's the? Because one side's going to be the Muslims, the other side's going. Well, I'm assuming that one side is the Muslims, the other side is the kind of maybe the enemies of Islam.
I reckon both. Because at the moment we've got a very split system where we have got Muslim power and we have got the last of the surviving fighting Christian power, the power that's trying to die. I reckon it's something to do with that. I haven't quite worked it out 100% yet, right? But this Ukraine and Russia thing doesn't quite fit right with me, right? Because
isn't Russia involved in it when they're pinpointing where some of the kind of like the wars are going to happen? It's I think it's Russia's involved in it as well. Russia on the I don't know what side though.
That's all theories that people have worked out from old texts.
Yeah,
that's the only problem. There's theories are really, really popular, but they are modern theories on old text.
But one thing I have seen, right, because I tried to research all sides, right, and what I've realized is that the Christians, their Messiah is going to be to the Muslims the Antichrist. So when Christians come down, the Messiah that you believe to be the Messiah, the Muslims will see him as an Antichrist and will fight him. And then their own Messiah is going to come down, who they would then say is a real Messiah. So have you heard that before?
I have, and that's why they're wrong, right? The Bible says that Jesus will come back, right? A lot of people talk about the rapture, right? They say all the Christians are raptured away, and then all the bad stuff happens. Right now, the Christians are here till the end, right? It's not. It don't work that way. The Christians, if you look at the Bible and read it carefully, the Christians are here until the God's day of wrath on the earth. Right? So
yeah, this is why I have a bit of a problem. You know, when I've sometimes heard Muslims say, "Oh, we are brothers in faith, and we both believe in Jesus and stuff," but they don't actually. I mean, they don't believe in Jesus, the Jesus that Christians believe in. They don't even believe Jesus was crucified, and also the Messiah that they believe that the Christians the Messiah is when he's going to come back. Is actually the Antichrist. So it's actually the opposite of what Christians believe.
Do you know where their Jesus comes from? Their Jesus is called Isa, right? And the reason he's called Isa is because Jesus or Yahshua means savior. Well, obviously they don't want it to know that Jesus is the savior, even though they still know he's the Messiah, right? Which makes no sense whatsoever, right? Now, if you look at the stories of their Jesus, they've got their Jesus from the Apocrypha book, the infancy. Hold on 1 second. The infancy book of Jesus, right? And the Gospel of St. Thomas. You know how they've got the story of how Jesus made a clay bird, and he made this clay bird and it flew away. That's straight out from the infancy book of Jesus, which is the 2nd century Apocrypha, right?
Okay.
So they say that Muhammad was illiterate, right? But somehow, if he existed, somehow, right, he was able to read, right, books that were available at the time, because everything in the Quran comes from the Apocrypha books, which the Gnostics used to believe.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you, when people say you're illiterate, most people were illiterate in the past, if you think about it. The majority. What it is, you can still take on information verbally and listen to things. You can hear stories, you can hear, people have managed to, memorize whole stories for thousands of years. So being illiterate doesn't mean that you can't learn things or hear things.
Gentlemen, we've a guest has joined. Is that he's called Baz? Is that Joe Baz?
No, this is Baz, as in Scouser.
Oh, okay. So is this Jordan? Is this your friend that was due to come on?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
but
All right,
that's
Baz, why don't you introduce yourself, mate, so we know a little bit about you?
Well, I don't want to give my full name or anything.
No. I don't mean that. Just kind of give a general intro. Why you joined?
Well, I
what you
just
thought.
wanted to just quickly give my thoughts on the religious aspect.
Go ahead.
Okay.
So, regardless of what, I'm not insulting anybody who's religious. By the way, I mean, big up to it, because a lot of people are a lot more peaceful if they're religious. However, I'm not, and this is the reason. There's so much suffering in the world. You see good people, really good people, suffer and even die horrifically. Good people. If God was real, why would that happen? That's my thoughts.
Yeah, that's a bit of a big philosophical answer, because although I'm not a Christian, I'm a Sikh. I do believe in a creator. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if we got an ordained priest there, if he wants to actually give a Christian perspective on that.
I'd put it down to free will. God gave us the gift of free will, and free will has its own outcomes. Some of them outcomes ain't nice, and that reflects onto everybody else. Right? All we're seeing
Can I
is
refute you
will.
before you continue? Can I refute
Go
at
on.
this point?
Go on.
Good people who are suffering. So, for example, let's just say myself was a really good person, just for example, and I'm walking down the road, I get stabbed in the back.
Is he cutting out or am I cutting out?
Didn't God intervene and save me?
Sorry, just repeat that, Baz. You cut out, mate.
You cut out, dude.
Okay. Right, there's a good person, never done anything to anybody. He's a good person walking down the street, but he's got a nice watch on. Some cunt wants to rob him, so they go and stab him in the back and rob his watch, and he dies. Why didn't God intervene?
These are huge questions, but
It's the simplest question.
they're huge, right? If I could understand God, he wouldn't be big enough. He wouldn't be big enough for me to understand and worship, right?
Yeah, I've used Jordan. I've used the analogy.
We live in a system where there's life and death, and there's debt, and there's disease, and there's all evils. But the Bible tells you that that Satan is basically nowadays the king of this world, right? So is it God or is it Satan? They're huge questions.
Or is it just someone who's poor and struggling and wants to fucking rob your watch?
I would say I would agree with Jordan that these are complicated questions, not because it's a complicated question as per se, is because the number of outcomes is so many. Because when we let's look at it from the person who was robbed. We from a spiritual sense, that there's obviously some kind of negativity around that person, so we would have to have a look at his background. Was he stealing himself? Was he robbing other people? Was he sinning? That type of thing. And then the other thing is, so on the other hand, the guy who does the rob.
Okay, because maybe you're accurate with what you've just said. However, let me reiterate it a different way then. So, for example, my mother died at 49. She was a good fucking person. She
Sorry
was
to hear that,
really
man.
good. She raised us. She raised me and my two brothers brilliantly. Couldn't have wanted for any more growing up. So, why did she die at 49?
Again, without looking into the background of your mum, and I reiterate what Raj said. Sorry to hear about the loss of your mum. My father died when I was very young, so I know the loss. A child or young adult or a teenager goes through. I wouldn't say that my father lived the holiest of lives. He was definitely, in the eyes of God, a sinner. I'm not saying that your mother was. I know plenty of very good people that died very, very young, and I'm sure your mum's one of those people. But without really going into the background of a person, and which we're not here to do anyway, it's difficult to ascertain. But I had a conversation with somebody today.
Well, I'll tell you the worst thing my mother.
Can I just finish this? No. Can I just finish this because I don't want to disrespect
Yes.
your mum. So I was having a conversation about somebody that I know, and the other guy that I spoke to today, knew him as well, and I said to him, what an amazing person. I can't believe he died so early. And his response was, well, maybe he had completed what he came here to do. And even though I wasn't completely satisfied, but I could understand that maybe he had done that because he had completed so much. So I don't know if your mother had come to raise you and your family, and she had achieved.
She did, actually. I like that answer. That's satisfactory. I like that answer.
Good.
That actually got a smile on my face.
Yeah, Pavas, can I say something? I lost my sister a little while ago, and she was like a second mother to me. Around a year and a half ago, and I'm still recovering from that. And I asked the question every day in my head, why so soon? Because she's only 53, and she had a very difficult life, right? But she was an amazing person. So I also think that maybe God took her at a time where she'd done what she had to do, because she was suffering a lot. She had a stroke when she was younger. And maybe God thought, okay, this is her time now. She's done everything, and she's gone now. So that's what gives me peace as well, to try and think of it like that.
That's never ever crossed my mind before until you two have both just said it. I genuinely really like that answer. I'm taking comfort in that. So.
Yeah. I think it is a comforting way to look at it, because otherwise, I'm being honest, you can start getting quite upset and angry about it, and kind of like the grief is just too much, right? Yeah. So, I mean, have you got a kind of like a kind of view upon what we're talking about, the biblical kind of prophecies of the Abrahamic faiths about the end times? Or do you not know much about it?
I've already just reiterated why the good people suffer if religion is real. That's my only view on it.
Yeah, because we're talking about.
But you just gave me a little thing to consider.
Can I share with you one more thing? So I lost a daughter who was only 8 months old, so a baby, right? So. And that's even more horrific than losing a parent. And I know not everybody will agree, but for me,
I agree.
Compared to other family members that I've lost, it was definitely more horrific. But in a weird way, I heard somebody say that it, to them, they understood that the objective of the battle between good and evil was that no matter what happens, you have to keep your faith with God. And that's almost like a mission that we all have in this life, that no matter what bad things happen to us, we just keep a connection.
Are you trying to suggest that someone who has faith is going to be tested slightly more than someone without faith?
I think that's possible, yes.
I know. I think everyone's tested in the same way, but some people have the faith, and it gives them a structure to kind of deal with it, right? So faith does help. My faith has helped me a lot during hard times, right? And I do sometimes think, how does someone cope when someone passes away if they just think that's it? Because the person's, I still believe that, my sister's, is somewhere, not that she's just gone.
In regards to what you've just said, I always have the same argument, is If my mother or my father could possibly get in touch with me in any fucking way from beyond the grave, they would have done it, and they haven't.
But maybe they're not supposed to.
Why wouldn't they be supposed to?
Because what makes us believe that those that are in heaven are meant to interfere in our lives because we have free will?
I'm just telling you, I assure you, particularly, my mother would come back and just try and comfort me, but my father would be here disciplining me, telling me, get your shit together. I assure you. If he could. So obviously,
Yeah, it's a difficult because it's hard to kind of like explain. I've always, when I think about the creator and try to understand the rationale, I look at it like an analogy. It's like an ant trying to understand nuclear physics. Like your brain just can't compute the kind of like enormity of what you're trying to think about, right? And so it's just very confusing.
And I'll pose another thing to you as well, because I think that's absolute nonsense. By the way, sorry to be rude, but I do. I'll pose another thing to you. So God created Earth in 7 days, etc., etc. Yet we've discovered that even our solar system isn't the end of the universe. There's other solar systems out there. You know.
But we don't really know. I have to be honest with you. We actually don't know that much because we're still at like I'd say like at the beginning stages of figuring out. We don't even know what's in the oceans. We know more about space than we do what's in the oceans, the deep ocean of our planet, right?
Almost true. A lot of people use that argument. That is almost true. Like at the very depths of the ocean, we are kind of blissfully unaware.
Yeah, and that's still a huge amount of area of the world, right, that we don't know about, and we're sitting on it. So the universe is like vast. We don't even understand how big it is or where it even ends.
A lot of the facts and
Well, apparently
figures,
it never ends.
but a lot of the stories and the facts and figures about space and universes is very hard to decipher. I don't think they're being perfectly honest with us.
Do you know, I'm glad you said that. You know how much I trust what NASA say. I don't trust them at all.
Oh,
It's not just
that's
NASA.
a whole new conversation.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's why I was there being quiet, because
Oh, can I ask you
I've
this
seen
question then?
bubbles in space.
Can
You
I
know what I
phrase it
mean?
this way and
Yeah.
as a question, please? And I want a genuine answer, not something that's emotional. A genuine answer that you think about. So, someone like I always use these people off the top of my head because I know they're clever people. So someone like a Neil deGrasse Tyson, who studies the universe, someone like a Brian Cox, these super intelligent people, they tell you that science is what you should follow, not religion. Or you can go to church and there's going to be some pastor and he's going to be saying everything he's read out of a book.
Can I answer this one?
Yes,
But as long as Jordan, can you mention that Neil deGrasse Tyson is a Freemason? I'm full of shit.
Yeah. I think you've just
And you're a pastor, so he's an ordained pastor, so he can answer.
right. No, the sciences. If you look, most of the sciences are built on assumptions, like carbon dating. You have a look at carbon dating, right? It's built on assumptions, right? Now these people take science theory and they call it science fact, right? When you break it down to its bare minimum, right? You look at the planet with all the symbiotic relationships, everything's had to be designed to work with something else, right? If the bumblebees go extinct, the world goes extinct, right? The sun is just in the right place, right? It's billions of degrees, right? It's however millions of miles away, but it's in just the right place to ripen the tomatoes in your greenhouse, right? This place was obviously done by an extremely intelligent mind. Now, the science theories all want you to believe that nothing did it, nothing exploded with nothing and created everything, right? I'm sorry, I can see intelligence in the world, right? Which makes me, on the other side, believe, yes, they're educated in the way the textbooks want you to believe, but
Can I jump
you're
in here?
kind
Can
of
I jump in
lying
here?
to your own eyes.
Can I jump in here at this point?
Yeah.
Okay, so my rebuttal to that would be there's life on this planet, even still now, that can be traced back long before any human ever existed. However, the Bible tells you the first life on the planet was Adam and Eve.
Yet again, the only way they date that stuff is with carbon dating. Look into carbon dating, look into potassium argon dating, and when you look into it, it doesn't work. You know, they can still find carbon-14 in diamonds. Carbon-14 is meant to be out of anything after, I think it's 60,000 years, but yet they want us to believe that diamonds took millions of years to make. Right, but they still find traces of carbon-14 in it. Right.
Can I just go up on that as well? Right, I'm not a Christian, so we don't have the same kind of belief in terms of times and dates. We for me, I do take science up to a point, but I've realised, you know, as smart as people are, they do make mistakes. Right, it's happened multiple times where a particular theory has been put forward, and that's then become the what's called the status quo, and then it's been changed. Right, afterwards when new evidence comes forward. An example would be civilizations only really started 5,000 years ago. And then until Göbekli Tepe was found, it's like, okay, we now know that there was civilization advanced 12,000 years ago. But for 50,
When
60
you're finished,
years,
I
that
would like
was,
to reply, so let me know.
yeah, that was the kind of like the kind of, you know, the norm, right? So things can kind of progress. I'm not somebody that wholeheartedly believes in science on everything, but I do think science is good. I think we should, kind of on carbon dating, it can be extremely unreliable. It is a good dating metric, but it can be unreliable, just to say that.
Well, it's like a candle in it. You know what I mean? It works on assumptions. If you walk into a room and there's a candle burning on a table, right, and somebody says to you, "How long has that been burning?" You need to know a couple of things. One, you need to know how long it was in the first place. Two, you need to know if it's been burning at a constant rate, or if there was a bit of breeze and it burnt a bit quicker. Right? All these assumptions forgot about when it comes to potassium argon and carbon dating. Right, you can't take the figures.
Okay.
Was it Mount Vesuvius that erupted in the 80s? There was a
It was, yeah.
volcanic eruption in the 80s, right? And they called some of the eruption material down, and they sent it off to different laboratories to be carbon dated. Some were coming
I'm
back with
simply
it
going to
was
go back.
3
I'm
million
simply going to
years
go back to
old.
my original
Others were
question.
saying 100,000 years old. They carbon dated the feather of a live penguin,
Hold
and
on,
it
man.
came back at
I'm simply going to
60,000
go back to
years.
my original question. So, apparently, Adam and Eve was the first life on Earth. Apparently.
Yeah.
However, we know that there's fucking creatures that have lived for thousands, millions of years before any fucking
How do
human
you know
ever
that?
existed.
How do you know that?
And
You
you've
tell me
even
we
just used
know,
the phrase yourself, bro, carbon dating.
but it doesn't work. Like Raj said about like all these ancient ruins. You look at these ancient ruins, right, and look in caves. We've got thousands of year old cave paintings of dinosaurs, right? How did they draw a dinosaur? I'm not sure which temple it's on. There's a Hindu temple and there's a carving in the side of it of a
Let me use
stegosaurus.
another
How
animal.
did it?
Let me use another animal to
Back in the,
try and refute this.
1 second. Back in the day, right, there was no such word as dinosaurs. That was invented 1870 something. They called them dragons. You look how many things there are of dragons that go back. Even the Chinese calendar, you've got 11 animals we've got today and a
And
dragon.
in India as well, they were called dragon. No, they weren't called dragon, but they were like giant flying creatures and stuff, or giant kind of like creatures.
But we still have one today, don't we? Called the Komodo dragon.
Yes, yeah. It's like I've got a python in a tank behind me, right? That would have been around in dinosaur days. They never stopped growing.
Probably,
The air quality was bigger. Lizards never stopped growing, right? They grow from when they're born right till the day they die.
Because hold
The
on. So
air
the point I
quality
want to
back
make would be
then.
very quick, man. Very, very quick. So there's a creature in the ocean. I'm sure you'll be aware of it. If you're not, I implore you to look it up. Called the immortal jellyfish. Do you know why it's called that?
Go on.
Because when it dies, it respawns like a fucking video game. It's immortal. It lives forever. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, if God is real, why the fuck are my parents there? Why don't we live forever? Why don't we respawn?
That's what heaven's about. You go into the kingdom of God. Do you
I'm sure
honestly
they'd rather be here.
Can you look at the state of the world at the moment? Do you honestly want to be immortal living here?
I'm sure they would.
See, I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Yeah. Can I say from the perspective of a Sikh, right? We believe that we're trying to attain kind of reconnection with God. We call it mukti, right? Where we die, and then if you do reach heaven, you don't have any fear, no anger, no lust, none of the mortal kind of things that give you a high. Because a lot of stuff that makes you upset is about all of this kind of stuff. So you're kind of in bliss forever, right? And to me, I think that's kind of like the ultimate thing for me as a Sikh, right? Not to have this kind of worldly troubles, right? I wouldn't want to come back to this world because we've got so much issues here. Me personally,
I wouldn't want it as it is now. Every day it's escalating. Every day.
can I ask you, Jordan? I've never really actually asked. What is the how is heaven described in Christianity? Because I know the Islamic heaven is very kind of worldly with a lot of kind of like stuff that rivers of wine and mansions. What is heaven in Christianity?
Right then, Jesus, the sun and moon
They're both derived from the same thing, so it's pretty much the same.
No, just because they have a lot of differences, though. That's the thing, though.
The sun and moon goes dark. Jesus comes back. The Christians are raptured out. We're taken away off this earth while the wrath of God is literally destroying everything and then taking everything back to the original creation. And then we come back down here for the 6,000 years of God's kingdom.
And what is heaven like, though? Heaven, when you go back to heaven, what is it? How is it described? Is it like the Muslim heaven where there's kind of like rivers of wine and mansions? Because I've never actually looked at it.
Virgins, no. It's like
what is the description? Because I've never heard a description of heaven for Christians.
You're going to be reunited with your loved ones who have passed.
The Bible doesn't really go deep into like golden gates, and you've got peace, you've rest, right? Everything's back to how it should be, or everything's gone away, right? All the trials and tribulations, they're done. It's all finished. You're cleansed in the blood of the crucifixion.
Okay.
You're going to be reunited.
Are you agnostic or atheist?
Me myself.
Yeah, are you agnostic or atheist?
I would say I'm atheist. Unfortunately, I don't want to be. But
the only description of heaven really is in the Book of Enoch, which obviously it's not actually in the Bible.
It's been removed, hasn't it, the Book of Enoch from the biblical text?
I believe there's 4 of them altogether. Right, it's basically the Book of the Giants. In the Bible, in Genesis, it says there were giants on the earth in them days and thereafter. Right now, that's all it says really about the giants. There's a few other where you hear about Goliath and stuff, but that passage there, right, it's strange, it's weird. But then if you read and look into the Book of Enoch, right, that is the story of those giants. Right,
can I explain that to you?
Tribulations
Can I give a little?
Isn't where when fallen angels mated with women and then they created these?
Hold on, man.
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
That's all Book of Enoch.
Can I attempt to explain that to you?
Go ahead, Buzz.
You know why humans are a lot smaller in this day and age than they was back in, whatever time you want to talk about?
Imprint.
You know why?
Go on.
Because we have machinery now. We don't need to be fucking trying to rip down trees with our bare hands and shit. We got fucking tractors and stuff to do it for us. So naturally, humans have got smaller over time.
But we were small. We were small before we invented them.
No,
I disagree with that, Baz.
Hold on. You've just been talking about these giants that they found in the past, and that's the reason, because they were fucking human, and they were big motherfuckers.
They were human, yeah. They were part human anyway.
There was supposed to be a mixture, because if it's what I'm thinking about, the Book of Enoch is that they mated fallen angels mated with women and they created these giants or something. Is that true? That's what you believe.
They were part
Yeah,
human.
but
A lot of them appeared human.
That's
Some of them,
nonsense.
strangely, they mated with animals as well. So you had some very strange
It's
combinations.
nonsense. So, okay, all right. Let me just put it this way about religion, right? I'm sitting here right now saying what I'm saying. If I was wrong, why haven't I been struck by a fucking lightning strike right now as I'm saying it?
Because God ain't evil.
He loves you.
He loves you. He loves all of us. He ain't going to struck none of us down with a lightning bolt. Funny enough, I have seen it happen on the screen. It happened during, was it the Paris, when they did that mockery of the Holy Supper, right? Or was it the crucifixion one? And literally a couple of days later, the guy who was like the lead character got struck down by lightning. So I have heard of it happening, but no, he loves you, man. He don't want you to die.
Can I just say something about atheism? And this is just my own personal view, so please don't get get upset about it. But I think people that are religious, we believe, right, and it's a belief structure. Some things we can't prove, but we have to believe, right? And I think atheists are on the opposite end, where there's no God, and you can't prove that either, right? That there's no God. The same way it's hard for me to prove there is a God. I believe there is. And I think being an agnostic is probably the most sort of like in the middle, sensible ground for someone to do that. Because if you're going the other way, you're saying that there's no God, but there's no way for you to prove that either, right?
I hope you do understand when I'm telling you. I hope that there is. I really want there to be.
Okay.
I just don't think that there is.
Mm.
With the amount of suffering I've seen.
Mm.
Do you get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm
saying? Yeah. I get what you're saying. It's hard. I've had a lot of people, good people in my family suffer a lot, and they're great people, and they've had a very difficult time. And there's people that are really nasty,
that's what I'm
and they have like the best lives in the world. It looks like, but I believe that God is going to reward the people that are good, right? And maybe that might be naive and just me clutching at straws to kind of like go through life. But I don't think God is going to reward the bad people. In my opinion, they're gonna suffer.
However, I even think I'm bad now because I think I don't want to discredit religion. I don't want someone to listen to what I'm saying and then think, oh, maybe you're right. I fucking wasted all my beliefs. It was all bollocks. I don't want that. Anyone who, if you find any comfort in religion, then good. I hope you do. I hope it helps you.
But the Bible tells us how to communicate with God. I don't know if you bothered to have a look, but it does kind of tell you, and it's not just prayer, though it is also encased in prayer. But if you want to communicate with God, there's a protocol. You should repent, you should ask for forgiveness, and you should forgive others as you want God to forgive you for the things that you have done wrong. And then that is your first step towards God, and then God will take a leap towards you. And you need to confess that Jesus Christ is King and is God, and you will see miracles within yourself if you do that.
Well, hold on. Like I said, I would love to be religious. I would genuinely love it. How about God presents himself to me right now and tells me,
it doesn't work like that, because you've got free will. You've got to take a step towards him, and then he, like I said, he will take a leap.
Or how about I have a dream tonight and God says, yes,
no, it doesn't.
I'm real.
No. Look, you've got to be a little bit more serious about it. But let me
Gotta
say
be
another thing.
More serious than trying to live in reality.
But let me touch on a point you just made. Jesus wasn't religious. In fact, Jesus was anti-religious. Jesus never preached religion. In fact, Jesus was killed by religious people. So you've got to differentiate between God and religion.
Jesus wasn't religious when he said he was the son of the Creator.
No, he wasn't. He was never religious. In fact, he woed religious people and said that you will not reach the kingdom.
Well, I would say that stands. I would say that if that's true, I would say that only stands to reinforce the point I'm making.
Yeah, can I say something, Manny? One thing I've always myself, and this is something that I've been concerned about religious people as well. I'm talking about all faiths. When people do things because the religion's said to be good, right? But I've met people that are atheists and stuff, and they just doing good because they know it's good, right? And yeah, I think that will be rewarded as well because these people are not doing it for anything else apart from the goodness of their heart, right? Rather than I'm going to get points or something for the afterlife, right? So I don't have this kind of like black and white thing that people that are
Exactly. That
atheists
was
are
my
gonna
whole point.
people that are atheists because I've met atheists that are incredible people, that are the most kindest people, helping people, but they're not doing it because they think they're going to go to heaven. They're doing it because it's right. I don't
Good
agree with
people
their
are good
viewpoint
people,
of
and
it.
bad people are bad people.
Yeah, and I think God will recognize the good people and the bad people, and hopefully reward the good people and punish the bad.
Yeah, but we also need to remember that what you believe in is also the energy that you adopt. So if we take the if we take some religions, you can tell that they are
Any
believing
particular
in.
one?
No, hear me out. So, when we take some religions or one particular one, you can tell they're believing in a dark force because you could literally show them that they're believing in paedophilia, for example, and they will ignore that and actually argue with you and saying that's not the case. Now, if that is an example of a dark demonic force blinding you literally with the truth staring in front of you, I don't know what is. So I would say what you believe in is what energy that you will kind of transfer, and life is a mirror, so whatever you put out is whatever comes back to you. We have seen that over and over again. So if you're an aggressive person, guess what, you're going to get into a lot of fights. But if you're a loving person and a friendly person, you're going to have a lot of loving and friendly people around you. I've made a lot of changes in my life, and I completely wholeheartedly believe that is definitely the case. Whatever you put out comes back to you. That's why it's important to make sure that you believe in the right thing, because that is the energy that you will adopt.
Can I jump in a second? Right,
Of course you can.
you said about you wanted God to appear in front of you right now. I can't. My how it happened to me, right? With my life, I had lots of mental shit happen. We saw with murders, also it was horrible, and that left my brain messed up. And I was suffering with constant sleep paralysis. I was waking up in the middle of the night. I couldn't move. Right, I felt the presence of something above me. I never saw anything, but there was something there. All I wanted to do, my wife next to me, all I wanted to do was scream. I couldn't scream. The only thing I could do was sweat. Right, and it was terrifying. I got to the point where I didn't want to sleep anymore. Right, I was doing everything I can to try and stay awake. It was like being the character in a Freddy Krueger movie. I didn't want to sleep
That's
because
called
it was
insomnia,
horrible.
mate.
Right,
I
it was
sleep.
horrible.
Yeah,
Right. Anyway, right, I had a really bad one where I woke up and it was terrifying. Right, I literally, when I could move, I dropped on my hands and knees and I prayed. I said, Jesus, Jesus, please save me. Right, and I had a prayer there on my knees, and I was the lowest I've ever been. Right, I was at the bottom of the barrel. I was terrified. Right, there was something I didn't understand it, but there was something attacking me. Right, anyway, I said that prayer. I went to sleep. I woke up the next day, and all I could see was golden light. Right, it was beaming in through the windows. It was in the living room. It was surrounding me. My wife's skin was golden. When I went outside for the first time in my life, I could see God's fingerprints and signature
Let
everywhere.
me guess, was this the
Right,
first day of summer?
right. No, 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 no. It was nothing like that. That first day, right, I walked outside the door, right, and I could see God's signature everywhere. I could see symbiotic relationship everywhere. I could see that it was all God's creation, and I've never been the same again, right? And I've never had sleep
Okay, well, what was
paralysis
these
since,
signatures that you
and
could
I
see?
don't even dream anymore.
Explain what was these signatures that you could see?
Pardon?
What was these signatures that you could see?
Well, you everything. Look around you. Right, like I said earlier, the distance of the sun to being able to produce food for us to eat.
So hold on. So you walked
Everything.
outside that day.
Eh?
You walked outside that day, and all of a sudden you knew the distance of the sun to the earth.
Everything. Right.
What changed that day is what I'm asking you. What could you see that day?
Something inside me. Something inside me. Right. That prayer did
You mean you
something
felt
to me.
different?
Yeah.
So,
Inside me.
so when you hear Christians say things like Jesus renews, or when you hear that God will remake you, this is it. Because what Jordan is saying is that once he had that experience, he was a different person, but it was still Jordan.
There's no going back. I'm still capable of sin, and yes, I still do sin. Right? You try not to. Like yesterday at that protest, I was as vocal as anybody, right? And I shouldn't have been, right? But like I said, that's free will, right? The Bible says we are all sinners at heart. But that prayer, I asked for forgiveness. I confessed to my sins. I said sorry. You know, I just wanted to be saved. I wanted to be out of whatever. There was something, right, and it wasn't of this world, and it was enough to wake me.
Can I jump in with a random question?
Go on.
So even as you're looking at this video that's on the screen right now,
Yeah.
As we describe it, the concrete jungle that we've created for humanity.
Yeah.
And what Lord loves all animals equally, not just humans, yes?
Yeah.
Where the fuck is the room for all the fucking other animals? Where's the monkeys and the zebras and whatnot?
This is exactly why we've got God's day of wrath. He's got to destroy all this shit. The Bible says everything burns in the end. Everything you see man-made on that screen will be burned.
That doesn't answer my question.
Why not? We've still got the animals. The animals are still there. I've got the dog next to me now.
You're talking about, you know how many animals have gone extinct?
But are they just a body, or are they a soul?
What does it matter? They've still gone extinct. Why should they go extinct and not us or the next animal? Do you know which is one of the longest living animals of all? Is sharks. You try going swim with a shark, mate, and see how much it treats you. and then you say, yeah, God created us, we should be friends, blah blah blah, while it's biting your fucking leg off.
But he created them to eat meat, and you're made of meat, so there you go.
The thing is, when with animals, they haven't got no. Can I say? Animals don't have a malicious nature. They're not going out to, like, they don't see us and say we want to hurt you like a human being can. What they're doing is just doing what's natural to them. They want to eat, and so yeah. I mean, I believe that to be true. I don't think that, but they don't.
What's the most intelligent animal that you can think of other than humans?
Whales, dolphins.
Killer whales. Have you seen?
Killer whales. I mean, obviously the name killer would probably mean that they're pretty brutal.
Dude, they kill just to eat the liver, and they'll just let the whole rest of the body just rot. They're not eating for purpose. They're just eating it because it's a snack and they enjoy it. Like me going and having a burger, for example.
But I mean, the difference between that is it's still trying to get something from that animal, right? A human being, as we know, will just end someone's life for no reason.
They're going to get something from that animal, but not because they need it. It's because they like it.
But that's still something that they're doing to kind of like kind of get some need, right? They're trying to fulfill the need.
It's not for a need. That's what I'm telling you. It's just because they like it.
All right. I mean, back to the topic of the thing. It was a great chat, man. But
I like
no, seriously.
Points. People just
no. You're making some good points.
Also,
I'm not somebody that's
also one of the other most intelligent animals are dolphins. You know they fucking rape. Did you know?
Hello?
That?
They do what?
They rape.
No, I didn't, and I'm going to look at them in a very different way now.
Yes, well, they do.
Trust me, they're not going to get my they're not going to get my seal of approval anymore. I'll tell you that now.
Unless you can speak dolphin, you don't know if they get consent.
They don't get consent. They rape.
All
Look it
them
up.
noises.
Can I just ask you? This is to do with religion as well. The reason why we got the red heifer is that we're talking about prophecies in kind of Judeo-Christian kind of religions about the end times, and the red heifer is a cow that's supposed to be fully red that the Jews are going to sacrifice at the end times for the Messiah to come back. I mean, what's your kind of view as a kind of atheist on that kind of prophecies, end times?
Sorry, Jose, did you say was they going to sacrifice a red cow? I don't think I've ever even seen a red cow. So
Yeah, so they bred it, so it's fully red. This one, unfortunately, had a couple of hairs that were not right, so they just chucked it in the bin. But at the end times, the Jews believe that they're going to sacrifice the cow on the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, and their Messiah is going to come back. And the Christians also believe a similar thing, but Jesus will come back. I mean, what's your kind of view on the whole biblical prophecy, the end times? Have you got a view on it?
oh yeah, just a very silly view though. Okay, and again, I've already reiterated this before. So what, we're going to sacrifice animals when God supposedly created all animals? Shouldn't all life be equal?
Yeah, I mean that's Yeah, I mean, I'm not a Christian. Just to clarify, I'm a Sikh, and I obviously as a Sikh, I don't believe in it, but I find it I find it interesting because I think the world events, what's going on in Israel and in Palestine and stuff, has a link to this kind of biblical prophecies. Because the October 7th attack on Israel, one of the things that Hamas said was that it's kind of provocation because the red heifers were brought into Israel, and they saw that as a provocation at the end times. Do you understand it? Like, it had an effect on real life.
Well, in regards to Israel and Palestine, I don't even want to go down that path, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, go down there. I mean, what's your view?
Do you support Palestine, Baz?
I don't want to go down that path, to be honest.
No, just go down there. It's fine. It's free speech, right? What's your view?
I think, this is my view on it, okay? Israel, believe it or not, I'm sure you're aware, but believe it or not, they have some of the most technologically advanced weapons in the world, and they have a very, very highly trained military. And for them to be attacking a country which doesn't, I think that's a little bit fucked up. That's why you have weight classes in like UFC and boxing, for example. It's like a heavyweight fighting a lightweight. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, before these guys go on, because I know their views are very different. Are different from me. Myself personally, although I believe that Israel has a right to exist, and it should have a right to defend itself. I think there is a point. I think there's a point where it becomes going for justice, and it then becomes revenge. And I think it's got to the point where they basically, I think, needs to pull back, and I think it's just gone way too far. Obviously, Manny and Thingy, I think they've got a different view on that.
I agree.
So we're more aligned than. What's your view, Jordan? I'm not sure exactly. I've never really spoke to you about Israel, Palestine, in terms of your view about the war.
I believe that Christians have got it all wrong because they support Israel because the Bible says pray for Israel. Problem with that is Israel was a man, not a place, right? So if you take it in context, they're telling you to pray for a man who died thousands of years ago, right? Not the troubles in Israel now, right?
Okay.
Obviously, Jerusalem's mixed up in it, and we've got problems as Christians with Jerusalem mixed up in it. But, right, nobody should be killing anybody, right? That's it, right? In my view, nobody should be killing anybody.
Obviously, that's obvious.
I think it was Manny who posted a video. If you look at the colours of the horsemen of the apocalypse, you've got a pale green horse, you've got a white horse, a red horse, and a black horse. If you look at all the countries that surround Israel, all their flags contain those colours, right? So, yet again, it looks like it's going into biblical prophecy.
Can you just elaborate on that? Because I'm a bit confused about the horse. What do you mean about the horse?
The horsemen of the apocalypse.
Oh, the four horsemen. Okay.
Yeah. You got the pale green one, which is famine, and then you've got this and the other. Off the top of my head, I don't want to get them all mixed up. But if you look at the flags of the countries that are literally surrounding Israel at the moment, right, you got your Hamas flags and all the others, they've all got those colours in them. Right, so as a Christian, it started to look very prophetic.
So what do you think of the evangelical, because, you know, some of the Christians that say that, you know, it's fine what's going on in Gaza because, because obviously I do believe Hamas is a terrorist organization. I 100% agree that, you know, what they've done on October the 7th was beyond the evil, because I've seen videos and stuff. But, you know, there is such a thing as giving mercy as well, like to people that are weaker than you. You know, having mercy is not a weakness, is it?
No, but they're all working from the same puppet master blatantly. Right? How did Hamas get into Israel that day? It looked like they were led in the door.
Can I chime in quickly
A
there?
cat can't even get across that fence without being detected. Right?
Can I chime in quickly there?
Go on.
So, just in regards to terrorism, like domestic terrorism, so someone who's born in England, for example, committing terrorism in England, that makes no fucking sense. That's just stupidity. That's just people who are wanting to make a name for themselves, like they think their name's going to be written in history. Dickheads. When it comes to, like, we've invaded another country and we've ruined their fucking country as a result of invading. Not just us, by the way. I'm not saying us, just England solely. Whatever you want to talk about, whether it's the Romans, etc., etc., etc. I can kind of understand the lashback. That's described then as terrorism. So, for example, let's say, let's say I've got a family of 10 living here. You come and killed 8 of them family members. I'm pretty sure you would understand why I would want to get fucking revenge. Yes?
Yeah, I'm not a pacifist. I think, you know, people can defend themselves and even, you know, get justice. I'm not for kind of like turn the other cheek or anything like that. I think, you know, there is that saying, an eye for.
I would say I am a pacifist, but I can understand it at the same time.
Yeah, but the crimes of the government does not reflect the people.
I
right?
agreed. Yes, that's the point. Yes.
Like take Iraq, for example. Did we know that Tony Blair was bullshitting us, using parliamentary privilege to lie to the people and make up fake evidence? No, we didn't. Right? The entire country and other members of parliament were kind of sucked into this thing that it's Afghanistan, it's Iraq, and
I agree.
And things like that.
This is why there's never going to be a definitive answer to these kind of questions. There's never going to be, because, like I've just said. So, for example, right, I'm living in a house. Just for example, this isn't true, by the way, but I'm living in an example with 5 of my siblings. You killed one of my siblings. Obviously, I am going to want to come kill you, even though you haven't done anything to me. That's what it is.
No, I disagree. If I was in that position, I wouldn't have that level of hatred against people that didn't do it. Of course, and this is what makes me laugh about these kind of terrorists. They seem to be doing the exact same thing that the host government wants to happen, so they can bring in more draconian rules. So if let's say, for example, you were, I don't know, let's just make a country up. Let's just say you were Canadian and Canada went to war with, say, America, and America bombed Canada, and unfortunately a family member was killed. Now, you wouldn't go try and kill a American family, would you? You would try to get somebody from the American regime. I don't believe that somebody who is hell-bent on, regaining some family honor or that type of situation would attack innocent people. I don't believe in that. I don't think that's possible.
You don't think that's possible? You don't think people would lash out of anger?
No, look, when we start understanding that Hamas was created by the Israeli government, when we start understanding that the Taliban was created by the UK and the US, and we start understanding ISIS was also created by
I
the
do understand
USA.
that. I know that's true.
Yeah, and then on top of that, Iraq, Saddam Hussein was put in power by the US. The Iranian Islamic regime was put in power by the US and the UK. So
And
these
Al Qaeda was trained by the fucking British
etc
forces.
etc etc. You got to remember that these people haven't even invented. They haven't even invented a lawnmower, let alone anything of military notoriety. So they're not really a threat to super nations like the UK and the UK.
So who should you be really
US.
angry at then?
No, but my point is that what we seem to be seeing is a lot of false military false flags where controlled oppositions carry out the very thing the host government wants to see in order for them to advance their kind of weird state. That's what we're seeing. Like Tony Blair lying about weapons of mass destruction. What was that? That was a BS reason to advance whatever they wanted to advance. Even
and
Ukraine.
I'll tell you what they wanted to advance. They wanted the natural resources.
Well, whatever the reason was, we're never going to know for sure. But we do know that war, especially war against certain nations, it's a money laundering operation, and that's definitely the case in countries like Afghanistan. I mean, the US were just bombing empty mountains half the time. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but Afghanistan was a legitimate target though, because Bin Laden actually went to Afghanistan and trained. So, but Iraq wasn't though.
Wasn't Afghanistan because Gaddafi was trying to bring out the golden dinar to take away the oil dollar? So they had
Are you aware
mountains.
that Bin Laden had connections with the CIA? Are you aware of that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because in the Afghanistan war they were. Wasn't he part of that, and that the CIA was funding certain parts of the resistance against Russia?
Apparently, he was responsible for 9/11. Apparently, and I'm not saying he was or he wasn't. I don't want to. That's not the hill I want to die on. That's a tough hill to die on.
No, I believe Bin Laden was responsible. I believe that the attack did happen.
Hold on.
But I do. Let me finish. I do believe that the American government turned a blind eye.
You didn't let me finish.
Oh, sorry, again.
So Bin Laden was apparently trained by the CIA, and then apparently became their fucking enemy. Is it possible that that was his fucking mission? He was trained to do that? Because apparently there's loads of conspiracies and shit out there saying Bin Laden's alive, he lives in Argentina and all this crap.
I don't believe that, to be honest. I think they've got him.
I don't believe that either. But just throwing it out there.
It's the same with, they say Hitler's still alive. It's just one of those conspiracy theories. I think he's pretty much dead and gone. But I do believe the American government under Bush let the attack happen. I don't think they knew exactly what was going to go on, but they knew that if it happened, that they can then invade the Middle East. Yeah, so that's kind of my theory. What did you think of Baz? What did you think of the actual march then to yesterday? Tommy Robinson march. What did you think of the Tommy Robinson, what is it, Unite the Kingdom march yesterday in London?
I think it just blocked traffic and achieved nothing. That's what I think.
All right.
What would you like to be achieved?
What, for this country?
Uh-huh.
I don't really think we need to achieve nothing, mate. I think we all should be grateful that we've got a nice life. I don't know what we're all so worried for.
But do you not think there's an issue with certain issues like, the uncontrolled immigration or, No. That's a good review to have. I wish I could think that.
I don't.
Yeah, I did say earlier that my review of the actual, the march was good in terms of how everyone behaved, but I didn't like the speakers that were on the stage who were inciting violence.
Always been the same.
All right. What is that then?
The reason this country is as wealthy as it is because we fucking stolen goods and invaded so many other lands. So how on earth can you complain if someone else wants to leave a war-torn country and come to this land? You really can't complain. That's my thoughts.
Because they're not. It's because they're not coming here to work like the immigrants in the 50s, 60s, and
Okay, if they're coming here
70s.
to work, mate. If
They
you're
were they,
fleeing
they
a
were
war
economic
from-
migrants, and they were coming from Commonwealth countries, so they could fit in fairly easily.
Okay,
What we have now,
let me try and phrase
what
that
we
question.
one,
Let
one,
me try and
one
phrase
minute,
that as a question.
but what we have now is
Granny,
gangs.
let me try and phrase it to you as a question, please.
Go on.
Okay. So your next door neighbour is threatening to kill you. Yeah? And I live a couple of doors down from you and I'm your friend. Are you not going to say to me, lad, I can't live here anymore. Fucking let me stay at yours?
No, why would I?
What, so you'd rather just stay there with your life in danger?
I don't think that's a very good analogy.
I do.
In fairness, and I don't know, that wasn't the point I was even trying to make. I was saying that the immigrants that are coming over now are not economic migrants. They're not coming here to work. They're coming here to take advantage, and they're coming here to cause issues.
Well,
So
again, I think my example was perfect because when I suggested to you if you was in danger, you wanting to come and stay at my place. I didn't say you were going to come there to work, did I? And mow my lawn or whatever.
but
You just
okay,
escaping danger. It's that simple.
I don't think it is that simple. Some of these migrants that are going to different parts of Europe and coming into this country, their lives are not in danger. So I don't think it is a good analogy. There might be very few and far between, but generally their lives are not in danger.
Yeah, but Manny, even if, say, 50% were not genuine refugees, 50% war, you have to treat them as though they all are. You can't lose your humanity. You have to still treat them as though they are. And then the ones that aren't need to be turned back, right? If you get to a stage where you say that all of them are freeloaders and stuff, we're just going to get in a situation that genuine people that are fleeing persecution are going to get
what you and Baz are doing, you're trying to evidently keep how can we say, very nice about these things, that there is going to be a possibility that some of those migrants coming over illegally are going to be genuine people fleeing problematic situation. However, I can just switch that saying, well, okay, well, what is the actual percentage of that with verification, and what on the flip side is, for example, how many people are getting robbed, how many people are getting murdered by those people, how many of those migrants are going on to form grooming gangs and raping non-Muslim children, how many of those people go on to commit crime. So what about, you've got to remember, if you want to be a humanitarian, you've also got to look at it from what the victims of getting it wrong is as well.
So, from where I'm sitting, what you've just said, this is my thoughts, just off the top of my head, is if people are coming into the country, and let's say they don't have any fucking documentation, for example, give them some fucking documentation, and then monitor them, and if they're being fuck-ups, put them in prison or deport them, whatever. But how can you deny someone who potentially could be living their life in danger? I think that's wrong.
Can I respond as well? When I say, I'm not saying being humanitarian, don't lose your humanity. Meaning that as much as I disagree with what, that there might be people in there that are going to be doing bad things, I have to try and see that they're going to be good people there as well, and not tarnish them all with the same brush. Now, I personally believe that if people are coming over, they need to be secluded from the indigenous population or the people of the land, and whether that's in some kind of army barracks or in some sort of detention center, I think they need to be separated until we know exactly who they are. Whether they're legit, if they're not, they have to go back. If someone commits a crime, they should be deported straight away. If they do get to kind of walk around freely, or they get legit kind of like citizenship. So I think there's a middle ground, in my opinion.
Okay, well, it doesn't make sense, neither of what you two are saying. So say, for example, let's just go with Baz's analogy. So we bring in I don't know, Afghani refugees, right? So who went to war with Afghan? Oh, it was us, and it was the USA and a few other allied countries. So who are they going to hate and blame for their discontent? Oh, it's going to be us. So why is it that the government creates the wars, but it's the people then have to then put up with the outcome of the war? It doesn't make sense.
Money. But a lot of those Afghanis are also going to be fleeing from what's the word I'm looking for?
The Taliban.
Persecution.
A shit situation, let's just call it. And they'd be very grateful to be accepted in here.
Yeah, but we do have a problem about cultural kind of differences. People have to really understand this and take this into account. Somebody coming from Afghanistan and the women can't go out, or if they do go out, they have to be totally covered. They can't have education. They can't do this. And the men are very kind of like, it's a more of a patriarchal system. When they come to a Western kind of like lifestyle, seeing that, I don't think they're going to be able to kind of like cope.
The only
like,
one
mentally.
thing I agree with in terms of what you're saying, and I've said this many, many times, if I walk down the street with a balaclava and a police car drove past me, what's going to happen?
You're going to pull that one, see.
You're going to put me straight in the back of that fucking police car and get me straight to the police station. So why is any Muslim allowed to be walking around with their faces covered? I disagree with that. Even though it's their religion, and obviously you've got to respect that, but I disagree with that. That's madness.
Yeah, there needs to be some sort of cultural norm. And look, as a British Punjabi Sikh, you know, I'm still Punjabi and Sikh in terms of my culture, but this is the UK, and you've got to respect the host nations.
Exactly, I agree.
That the host nation is a British nation based upon Christian kind of Judeo values, and I can't come in here and say, okay, I'm going to now make the whole UK into like Punjab, right, or Sikh. Right? You have to compromise as immigrants, right? And obviously there are certain groups that are finding that difficult.
Exactly.
I mean,
I'm coming to this country because I know I'm going to have a better life here, but you can't tell me what to do. What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, the reason a lot of people have left is because they want to get away from that particular system. Say, like, you know, someone from Afghanistan comes here because they don't want to live in Afghanistan, but they didn't want to bring Afghanistan over here in terms of the whole lock, stock and barrel. I'm not saying all of them, I'm just saying that's what's happening. And I think that's what's kind of angering the kind of British people. Not necessarily immigration, it's just cultural kind of clashes. You understand?
I think you two are a bit delusional.
What would you think we're delusional? Because we're normal people, Manny.
You're not, but this is, you think you're normal people.
We are.
I think you're completely delusional.
He's not said anything that I thought was, even about the atheist stuff, I don't think he said anything. He's questioning, right? About why God is letting bad things happen and good things.
I'm only talking about this immigration debate that we're having. I'm not talking about everything that he said. I mean, he's asked some great questions. But I just think you guys are delusional. You're happy to inconvenience one group of people in order to convenience another group of people because you think those people have already been inconvenienced. Then, therefore, everybody else now needs to be inconvenience. That's not the case. You also got to remember that if you look at, let's just take Telford for example, right? Because we've got Tommy Robinson on demo on screen. Let's take Telford for example. There was 2,000 to 3,000 Muslim men in Telford during all the Telford grooming gangs.
I'm going to join back in a moment. I'm going to switch my phone back with my missus and rejoin.
It was calculated that something like 60% of the Muslim population men had raped at least one child during that situation. Now, would you call all those people good additions to the community, and therefore they should have been invited?
No, obviously they're despicable individuals that, you know, need to be put into prison, right? And I'm not saying that what you're saying, that there are issues going on with particular communities is not true. Like, I'm not a denier. I'm not going, this is not happening. I'm saying there are things happening, but we need to still understand that, look, that there is good people within those communities, and they need to start rooting out the bad apples, right? They need to start taking responsibility.
But they're not going to do that because it's part of their part of their culture, part of their system to do all this in the first place. That's why every single grooming gang actually tells the victims that this is part of their culture, part of their religion, that they are not Muslim, therefore they're not pure women, and they are there to be abused, raped, and they belong to them, basically.
And Manny, what time are you going to? Because I can only stay on for like another 30 minutes max.
We'll go on to for a little bit, for 30 minutes.
Yeah, because Baz is asking some good questions. I think he's kind of added a good angle to it. So I would be obviously Baz is the man of the people like me. Are you going to say something, Manny?
I think he's delusional like you.
Oh, all right, that's nice. At least there's two delusional people now, not just one. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was good to talk to obviously Jordan about the kind of red heifers and stuff. Maybe we could do another part 2 and look at some videos, because I actually want to. I'll find some videos because I want to see what I've never ever seen inside the Alexa mosque. Yeah, I've never seen that. I need to check inside it. What's in there?
Do you want me to show you the Alexa mosque?
I mean, the topic's kind of gone different way. Am I echoing?
I can't hear you echo. I want Jordan to speak or refresh his screen so I can see.
Oh, so nobody in the chat can hear an echo from when I'm talking. It must just be my phone.
It's just your phone. What have you got, an Android?
Well, what's going to happen if I say yes?
Well, you're going to get ripped.
So you're an iPhone Nazi, are you?
You've got an Android. You're talking to Manny Cinder through an Android.
No, I've actually got. Hold on. Before you go on, I've actually got an iPhone. I just use it for taking photos.
Listen, mate. When people normally tell me that they're calling me through an Android, I usually hang up.
But you spoke to me for nearly an hour earlier, and I told you beforehand I'm on an Android.
I didn't know. I was wondering because you were chatting a lot of crap, and I thought you were just being funny. I didn't realize it was partly because you were talking.
Oh, you're saying now that the Android phone actually infects the mind and creates some sort of delusion.
I think it does, yeah.
And what does the iPhone do? Go up your ass or something? And vibrate.
It's just all about energies, mate, and I don't think Android energy is quite.
Oh God! I'll be honest with you. I actually really, because I've got iPhones. I've got 2. One is an older version. One was a newer version that my sister gave me, and I just can't stand the interface. If I'm being honest with you, it's just very how can I say? It's not.
Well, iPhone was made to make it as simple and clear as possible. So if you can't use an iPhone, you might as well just sell all your devices.
No, I can use the iPhone. It's just it makes everything very difficult. You have to buy everything made by the actual, Apple. Yeah, so they're clever the way they've done it.
No, you don't. You'd have to buy anything made by Apple. A lot of things work with. What is it that you're trying to buy?
So can I upgrade the memory on a iPhone?
Which iPhone do you have? Well, no, you
can't. I don't know which one is iPhone 14 or something like
that. No, you can't. No.
Yeah, so if I wanted to upgrade the memory from this, I just pull the memory card out and put a new, even the 1 terabyte I can put on it.
Yeah, but who runs out of iPhone memory? You can just transfer all your photos and videos onto your computer.
No, I run out of it all the time because I'm filming myself. Actually, I need to send you a video, Manny. I want to see whether you can.
You're filming yourself.
No, not like that. I'm not fiddling with myself and then thinking, oh God! All right, so let me just clarify to the public before someone clips it. I wasn't pleasuring myself and then filming myself. I'm filming myself drawing. And I'm trying to up the game so I can put stuff on social media because I'm terrible at films. I'm going to send you like a 2-minute clip I did, and I want to see what you can do with that because I'm kind of because you're quite good at editing and stuff, adding stuff. Like, I've edited it. It's just boring.
Listen, mate, I don't hang around with riffraff like you anymore. You've had your chance. I tried to do all these things for you, but I
just do it just because. But I didn't understand that you actually had some talent in something. I didn't realise when you said it. I thought you was just doing what you normally do, blowing steam up your own ass.
I don't.
But then I saw the video. I was like, okay, he's actually quite good at it. Actually, he's not too bad.
I don't have talent. I have a studio team.
Oh, so you get someone to do it? Really? Are you serious? Oh, well done.
I've got a studio team. You got to do these things. What can you do?
What, actual people or like little robots, like one of those cleaning robots and someone like a little robot hand? Is it real people?
Jordan, are you back?
Oh, he's back.
I hope so. Am I?
So what?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you think about our friend Baz then? He had some good points.
Am I back?
Yes.
Yeah, you're back.
Yes. It's all right, my mic just went quiet, and I just kept saying, can I step in, can I jump in? And nobody
Yeah,
could hear me. Right,
so were you talking all that time?
yeah, you know, when everyone was talking about the migrants coming over and that, I was trying to say, right, these people from Afghanistan, how many safe countries are they coming from before they get to France, which there's no war, right, and coming here? Right? And people were saying if they commit an offence, well, as soon as they get in that dinghy and enter our shores, they've committed an offence. That's the minute they become a criminal, right? And like Manny said, Afghanistan, we bombed it. They brought up thinking we're not very nice, and they're all coming here. It's not safe.
Yeah, I mean, you got some, obviously, I'm not going to disagree with you. I think you've got some points, but the point is that they're here. And what do you do? I mean, legally, we have to let them come in, right? I mean, what is it? The ECR? I don't know what it is. I don't know what that thing was, the law.
The ECHR. Yeah, we need to get out of that and then send them back, right? And then they can try and get in through legal reasons, do it the legal way. We've probably gotten too many legal ones coming in at the moment. We're an island, and the demographics of this island are changing to the point where there's going to be no return. Right?
Are you in Ireland? Did you say? Are you in Ireland?
What's that?
Do you live in Ireland, Jordan?
No, not Ireland. We're an island.
Sorry.
We live on an island, and the demographics are changing, and the population's becoming massive, and we can't afford it. Right, we can't afford none of it. We can't even afford the hotel bills we're stocking up. Right, and the problem I've got with putting them in army barracks is, right, they're all single. Right, well, we don't know if they're single, admittedly, but they're all fighting age men. Right, and if you look at a lot of these countries, they've still got military service. Right, so most of these people, if they're over 23, have had some sort of military training. Right, they're all coming over here in the name of Allah. Right, and I'm sorry, but even our king, right, if that's what you want to call him, even he started to turn that way. You know, the other week he became the patron of Oxford Mosque.
Yeah, he's always been very kind of friendly to Islam.
By law, for his job, he's meant to be a Protestant. I can't speak. A Protestant, right? But no, we find out like a few weeks ago, he's now become the patron of Oxford Mosque. This country, as the demographics are changing and Islam's getting stronger and stronger and stronger, they're basically doing a political jihad on us. Look how many Muslims we've got in power at the moment. Was it the other week they decided to put a Muslim in charge as the Home Secretary? We've got a Muslim.
I'll be honest
We've got a Muslim in charge of immigration. Tell me that makes sense.
I think he might have done that to basically so people can't say she's Islamophobic if she does certain measures, right? I think it was a more of a tactical move.
She's been on Palestine marches and she's done talks where she said my drive 100% is for Islam, not for the country, not for the country. Right? She's potentially the most terrifying Home Secretary we've ever had. And you name one Islamic country that would put a Christian in a place of power.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Pakistan, you can't go to the upper echelons of that country if you're not Muslim.
No.
So you can't become the president. You can't be the thing. You can go to certain MPs and stuff, but they can't go to the top jobs. So there are restrictions in most Muslim countries, I think.
Then why do we do it? We do it because we're a liberal democracy. Well, them two words don't work together, right? Because they fight each other. And that's why we got such a woke church, and that's why everything around us is falling apart. And the mass majority, luckily, now are seeing it. Right?
Do you know your church that you go to? Is it quite full, or is it kind of what is it? What's the kind of demographics that go there? Is it kind of busy?
I'd say empty. I'd say
that's the sad. That's the sad thing. Like in my area, the amount of churches that have been closing down, and then they've turned to something else. It's like I think people. Obviously, I'm a Sikh, so before I would say, Raj, why are you promoting Christian? I'm just saying I believe that the host nation needs to go back to some kind of like Christian roots, and I think it's breaking down society because you lose your kind of traditional values. I'm a live and let live type of person, right? But I do believe in man and woman being married, and obviously children, family. I have no issue with gay people. I have friends who are gay like Manny, but the thing is that I don't discriminate against them, right? If he wants to go out with his boyfriend and stuff,
you are pro transgender as well as pro gay, right? Because you back up this whole transgender far left radical.
all right, so let me respond.
Mental health issue.
All right, so I apologize because your boyfriend is transgender, right? So I will call him she, not he. Although it was
who are you referring to as my boyfriend?
I don't know. I'm still trying to meet him. You've not invited me to.
I was actually making a serious point, putting your.
I'm only joking. Obviously, man, he's the straightest man in the world.
But you are pro transgender, aren't you?
No, I'm not. The thing is, I'm somebody.
So
that
therefore, do you condemn Sophia Lewis then?
No, I don't condemn her, but
so which one is it? Are you left foot in or right foot out? Which one is it?
I'm both.
At the moment, you're like James the White Knight on the fence. So which one is it? Are you a man or a woman?
I'm kind of both at the moment. I'm sort of like let me say on a serious note, Manny has no transgender boyfriends. He's the straightest man I ever known. If he was any more straight, he I don't know, bend over or something, he would crack. So he's just basically straight as he could come, right? But I can be friends with people even if I disagree. So I personally do believe that like you're born a particular thing, but I think certain people believe they're not.
Sophia Lewis is a man or a woman?
I believe biologically she's a man, but I will respect her wishes that she's transitioned, and I will call her she.
That's a good answer.
I would call her a transgender female, and she also calls herself a transgender female. I don't think you can say she's a biological female. No, she's quite sensible with that, right?
Yeah, I agree. She is sensible in that. I do agree.
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe in all this liberal, because I think extreme liberalism is what's going to destroy the UK as well. It's going to make people we need some form of like the other thing that's quite sad. I don't know what your views are on like abortion and stuff. Like, obviously I do believe that
abortion is murder. It's quite clear.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I agree with you as well. But the thing is, my kind of stance is someone's going to lose their life as a mother, and she wants to choose to, get rid of the child. Although I think, let it live. I mean, she should decide, right? If someone's been raped and they feel like they can't cope with the child, I would prefer to them to have the child and get it adopted. But if they decided that they didn't, I will accept that. Yeah, but I do believe it's still.
But there are a number of studies now that women that have been raped and did get pregnant and then did have the child, they go on not to regret having the child. So we already have the statistics that it's better to keep the child.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think not even keeping it, let the child live, and then maybe if you can't go give it up for adoption, right? But you're looking in the UK. I can't remember the last time I looked. I think like 150,000 abortions a year. That's 150,000 babies.
Yeah.
Now your demographics is gonna go down if you're only having 1.8 kids in terms of indigenous people. Sikhs, I think, are around 2, and Muslims are closer to 2.5 to 3. So they're gonna
sex before marriage is a sin for good reason.
This Christian's got 4.
Hmm?
This Christian's got 4.
Oh, you're doing your job for
Yeah,
king and country. Well done. Everyone salute Jordan. Everyone salute him for doing his job. Because you have a lot of people. You have a lot of people that. It's quite strange to hear someone having 4 kids now. You know what's weird? Like, my family had 6 kids, right? Or 6, all of us, right? And when I was growing up, I used to see a family with 4 to 5 in the Sikh community. Well done. Sikh community. But do you know what's happened to the Sikh community as well? I have not met a couple that's got more than 2 kids for years. It's always 2 kids.
The world's getting expensive.
Is that Steve? Is that Steve? That was Steve in there. Rewind.
Oh, yeah, he was there. Yeah, we're
no, Steve. Rewind. Just have a look at his face. Oh, no, I can't believe he's there, man. I wonder what he's up to. I'm not sure. What did he say then? Did you speak to him? Steve the atheist.
Yeah. He was there. He was there with a lady and he was kind of chatting to her. He appeared next to us by the railings all of a sudden from nowhere, like ghosted in.
So Jordan, did you ask Steve if he still supports transgender education to children?
There was no chance of talking to anybody at this point. They were shouting at Antifa.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if Jordan met him, he wouldn't go, "Hello, Steve. What do you think about transgenders in school?" I think he's got more pressing things to talk about.
Do you still eat bugs?
Yeah. No, but what side was he on?
What's that?
What side was he on, though?
He was stood on the Patriot side.
What?
Yeah, he was stood on the Patriot side.
I'm confused, man. I'm confused. I'm pretty sure he turned against them.
What are you confused about? What are you confused? You know he's a two-faced rag. What are you confused about?
No, I'm just confused that he's got the nerve to turn up.
Look at Raj saying, "I'm confused," as if you of all people don't know that he's a two-faced piece of shit.
Yeah, but my nickname is Confusing. So you should know that. That's my nickname, Confusing.
No, your nickname is Tommy Robinson.
Oh, I used to be called that, but I don't support him no more. I'm going to be honest, I'm fed up and sick and tired of that whole movement. I think he's probably left Richard Inman, and that's why it's gone pear-shaped. Because Richard Inman was like the kind of like the steady person that steadied the ship, right? Because I didn't see him anywhere in this any of the videos. I looked everywhere. I didn't see him.
But there has been demos previously where Richard hasn't spoken because they've run out of time and things like that, and they definitely ran out of time on Saturday.
No. I don't think he was there at all. I didn't see him in the background. I looked at some of the back thing. There's a guy called Gurmeet Singh. He was posting in the background, and I didn't see no Richard. Normally, I see him walking around, and he's kind of like the voice of reason. Like, so, I think maybe he wasn't involved.
Oh look, Banksy, the previous lefty communist, is now a right-wing media person. He's saying Richard was there yesterday.
I was. Oh, yeah. God, I can't even give that excuse.
So now you've got egg on your face twice.
I know, but I'm actually quite upset now because I thought I could blame the fact that it was a complete mess, that Richard wasn't there. That he's there now. That actually makes it worse.
Why do you keep saying it's a mess? It was such a big success.
No, in terms of logistics, I think it was great in terms of the amount of people that turned up. In terms of calling it Unite the Kingdom and trying to let people vent their frustration, great. I didn't see that much violence here, considering how many people were more kind of thingy. But I think the speakers that were allowed to speak, 50% of them, I totally disagree with what they were saying. Right, some of them were good, like Ant Middleton. I think Katie Hopkins wasn't too bad. Was Banksy there yesterday?
Banksy was there. He didn't have the best camera angle shot.
Is he jumping up? Is he jumping on?
But Banksy had one of the best live streams in terms of quality of audio and quality of visuals. But then even his live stream after a bit went a bit doolally. But yeah, he did generally a good job. I watched half of it on Banksy's.
But I actually think, because I checked so many live, right? They were all crackling. All of them were like, apart from one or two, that I don't want to do conspiracy theories, but I think something might have been interfered with in terms of the signal.
It's not wouldn't have been interfering. It's a very high rise, high built up area, so receptions. You know, there's a lot of old buildings there which are built from stones and all sorts. But on top of that, everybody's using their phone. So unless you're like Manny Cinder and you pay for priority coverage, where EE will give you all the reception that you need first and foremost, you're gonna end up losing reception, and most people were just using normal reception.
Yeah, fair enough. I watched the whole thing afterwards, anyways. Obviously, you know, I think another thing is, like, you know, I've been conversating with people about the Union Jack. I think the more you put it out, the better.
Yeah,
I think it needs to be that when you're walking around, it's everywhere, but not everywhere, but enough that, like in America, where you're just seeing it, and it needs to be just normal to see the flag, right?
I live in the part of England where they've put up Union Jacks and St George's flag on every roundabout, in every village. Even, like, do you know the BT boxes that are made from silver? Somebody's gone around and put the St George's. It's absolutely brilliant. Everybody around here, we just look at each other and we smile and we just nod each other. It's brought the community together. But I just want to highlight what Winston said. Winston is saying, "Did you see Gurmeet Singh?"
Yeah, I did. So basically,
where is that? Where is that? I want to play it.
I think it's on Ali Dawa stream, but I saw it on TikTok. What was so funny? Ali Dawa didn't realize Gurmeet Singh is a Punjabi Asian. He thought he's a white skinhead. And he started saying, "Look at this lager lad, this white." So it was pretty embarrassing, to be honest.
Banksy, if you snogged
evening, gents.
Sophia Lewis, say something.
If I'm what?
He did. That little dirty bugger. I knew it.
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
He said if you snob Sophia Lewis, speak, and you spoke.
Well, yeah.
And yeah. What did you do yesterday? How was it yesterday then? Overall, the kind of atmosphere.
Hey, Jordan. How's it going, mate? It's been a while.
Hello, mate. I haven't heard you for a while.
I know. I didn't know you were there. I missed you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I took all my kids with me, thinking we'll have a lovely time watching them on the stage, and we ended up straight in the middle of what you can see there.
I'm actually hearing an echo, but that's okay. I think it's because Manny's sharing his screen. But
did you get
it was manic.
It's not because of me. It's because Raj is recording and the echo is with him.
No, I'm not recording.
You always record everything with your screen grabbed on your records.
No, I don't, man. I'm not like you. I've got a life, man.
We all know you're a bit shifty, Raj.
Yeah, I've got a life, for God's sake. What, you think I'm trying to incriminate you? And I send it to my enemies.
I heard you guys disparage poor atheist Steve there.
I still get on with atheist Steve, but I'm just shocked that he had the nerve to turn up.
Well, no, the thing is, he will turn up as sort of a sideline, sort of bystander, because officially under reform rules, no reform MP or anyone who's involved with reform can be a part of a Tommy event.
Okay.
So he can't officially, because I mean he ran for Ealing as a reform MP, and he may run again in the future, and he's part of he's involved with reform, so they can't. If you notice, there was no reform representatives whatsoever.
Yeah, I did
because
notice.
they simply can't.
Did you hear the speeches? Because I do have a problem with the speeches.
Well, I mean, as Manny said, my everything up until I got back to the stage was okay. But once I got back to that stage area, because I started my stream at the stage, and then I went over to sort of Waterloo, started marching down with everyone, and it was all fine. My stream was fine, it looks like, up until I got to the stage, and then it started buffering badly because there's just so many people with so many mobile phones and Wi-Fi
it wasn't just yours.
devices.
90% of the channels that I tried to check were buffering, or they just weren't working.
There's one guy, Lewis seemed to be pretty strong. Lewis Errington, he used to be called Another Alternative. He was pretty good. I think he did a 7-hour stream all the way through. He pretty much got most of it. So if you want to check out a stream that was fairly stable, his would be one of them. I actually stopped streaming after a while. I've got a bunch of pre-recorded stuff which I have to edit and upload 360 stuff. But yeah, it was almost impossible to really. I mean, everybody was.
No, but what show? Did you hear the speeches afterwards, or?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I was there all the way to the end.
So, I mean, what's your views on the speech? Because
the Polish guy was brilliant. He was so good, and I've had 1 million, almost about 800,000 views of his speech on Instagram. It's crazy how that one went viral. So yeah, people loved him. Everyone else, Katie Hopkins, I mean, that was the first one Katie Hopkins has actually shown up to. It's she's never shown up to any of these events so far. Maybe it's been a sort of scheduling conflict. But yeah, people were generally good. The hacker guys were brilliant. They were really nice guys as well. Because I was talking to them.
What? Oh my god, man! Oh my god, I can't believe.
Nice, yeah, really lovely.
Did you meet a Sikh guy there by any chance? A Sikh guy with a turban?
I saw a Sikh guy with a turban, but I didn't speak to any Sikh guys.
Yeah, he's basically got arrested the night before for going for an event. Yes, people reported him and stuff. They've been attacking him online and stuff. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't agree with a lot of the speech, like 50%. I thought Ant Middleton was good. Weirdly, Katie Price was okay. The Polish guy was.
You mean Katie
Hopkins? But a lot of them were just, in my opinion, very inflammatory.
Of course, because people have had enough, dude. I don't know if you've listened to my rhetoric. This has been my rhetoric for like 5 years. This is this is finally everyone else catching up.
I know, but that's the problem, right? That's the problem. When you are the voice of reason of today, then there's a problem. If that's the Overton Widden that we've gone to,
yes,
it is a problem because I've always thought you was too far.
What did I say to you 5-6 years ago? I said, I've been telling these Muslims, shut your mouths, keep your head down, and get on with your lives. Because when the Christians turn, when the white man turns and becomes pissed, they will industrialize your extinction. That is what they're getting to now. I have been hearing rhetoric from Bob today. Bob was at Speaker's Corner talking about if you're an atheist, it's not enough anymore. If you're not with us as Christians, we're going to turn on all of you. That is where it's going. Yes, dude. There is a reason why I gave these. Everybody keeps talking about, oh, you're a fearmonger. I've said, I am simply a warning light. I'm a red, spinning, flashing light to all of you morons, all you foreigners who think you own this place. You think you're some big wig now because you've been in this country a couple of generations. Some of these Indians and Pakistanis who talk about, I was born here. Like you, no one gives a shit if you were born here. If you were born 10 generations in Japan, you will never be Japanese. These morons who think they're English now. Some fucking dude with a fucking turban wears a kilt and blows on a bagpipe. Now suddenly he's a fucking Scotsman. No, you're not. You will never be a Scotsman. You will never be English. You will never be Welsh. You'll always be Pakistani or Indian or Iranian or whatever the fudge you were before you came to this part of the world. That's what you'll always be. I don't give a shit about what kilt you wear or what bagpipes you blow on.
Banksy,
and I apologize for the Sikh community that he attacked us like that.
1 minute, Banksy, you don't have any white English friends, do you?
Yes, I have English friends. I have lots of English
friends.
I
guarantee you do not have any white English friends because anybody that does would not chat shit like you just did.
Are you kidding me? Of course I have a whole host of English friends from school. I literally grew up with nothing but English kids at school. All the way to university, all the way to work.
I'm not talking about who you grew up with, who you went to school with. I'm talking about people that come into your house and chill with you, and you go around and chill with them on a regular
people
basis.
Who are like my brethren.
I don't believe you.
Okay, you don't have to believe me, but I do. I'm not here to convince you of that.
Jordan,
what does that got to do with anything?
I'll tell you.
That have to do with anything?
I'll tell you. Jordan, am I your brother?
Yeah.
Jordan, you're my brother. I would protect Jordan as much as I would protect my own family member, and Jordan would do the same for me. I know that about Jordan because Jordan is a good friend of mine. This is what I mean, that when you don't have genuine friends and you don't know genuine English or British people. That is the thing you have. I've just had a debate for 2 days with Raj giving me the same speech because I know Raj doesn't have the same level of friendship and brotherhood that I have with British English.
But what does that have to do with what I said?
Because you're missing out because
who
you're
pretending to be English.
Because you're. What do you mean pretending to be? What you're trying to say is pretending to be white. That's what you're trying to say.
No. English. English is white. English has a haplogroup.
Say that.
English is Anglo-Saxon. That is what English is. Everyone else who doesn't have those genetics, they are pretending.
That ethnic people are trying to be white. That's what you're trying to say.
No,
so
ethnic people are pretending to be English.
No. All right, so let me speak. I've never ever said that I'm English. English is a race. I've said I'm British in terms of nationality. I'm Punjabi by race. And religion is Sikh. I'm never going to become English overnight unless I breed with an English
turbans
person.
And kilts pretending to be Scottish. They are not
Scottish. I think they understand that they're not Scottish. I've never met a Sikh that believes that they're not Punjabi, right, or if they're from Punjab, right. I think what they're doing is trying to kind of respect the culture of the host nation, right, by saying, look, we embrace your nation's host.
Manny, I believe he thinks he's some kind of English. I don't know, Manny, do you think you're English?
I've never really asked him. Do you think you're English, Manny?
What does English mean? So,
what does English mean? You see, this is how the left. This is leftist talk right there.
Oh God!
If you're saying no, but I'm just trying to understand the kind of negativity that you're spewing, Banksy, because I've already called you out that what you were trying to say, that Indian people pretending to be white by saying, oh, this and the other. So I've already called you out. But if you're saying that, do I think I'm white? No, I don't. I have a golden suntan.
No. Do you?
Are you English? Because I know I'm not English. I will never be English.
I've already answered this a number of times. I referred to myself as British. I never referred to myself as English. But do I have an England flag? Yes, I do. Do I have a Union Jack? Yes, I do. Do I support England football team? Yes, I do. I'm just telling you who my personality, what my personality is, and what I follow.
I am saying,
I know it may not be what you want
you
to
are
hear.
English.
But
the answer to that question is well. In that case, I am going to conclude. The answer to that question is no.
What question?
Are you English?
Yeah, we're not English, and we're never going to be English.
You're not, exactly. You're never going to be English any more than you're going to be Japanese, or you're going to be Korean, or you're going to be Chinese.
Can I answer the fucking question that was put to me? Right. So as for what Banksy's asking me, do you think you're white? That's what Banksy's asking. Am I the only one that's fucking listening to Banksy and the shit that he's talking? That's exactly what you're asking me, because we've already decided.
Are you Japanese?
That's exactly what you're asking.
Are you Japanese? If I ask you, are you Japanese? Am I saying, are you yellow? Is that what I'm asking you when I say, are you Japanese?
Am I from England?
No.
We migrated to England.
You're not.
Where am I from?
You're from India or Pakistan or whatever region of that part of the world that there is.
But you dare say Pakistan.
I'm not. No, stupid. I'm not English, but I am from England because England is also a geographical location. That's the difference.
But we're not racially English.
You guys don't even know the right terminology. You make a mockery of the English language.
So Banksy, can I ask you are you saying this, that I would say that although I'm born in England, I'm not racially an Englishman. I'm a British citizen that is born on the land of England.
Culturally English.
But I'm Punjabi. Culturally I'm British and English, but I'm Punjabi by race. Yeah, that is my racial DNA.
That is what I'm trying to say. To me, you see,
I don't think that's controversial.
Manny is the same as a transsexual who tried to convince me they're a woman. That's what it is. This is the same language as the left. Manny is using the same language as the left.
I'm not going to take that from somebody who came onto my live stream and said a transgender called Sophia Lewis was good looking and they would have sex with him.
Well, first of all, I never said I would have sex
with her.
Yes,
you did. I have the live recording.
Go ahead and play it. Go ahead and play it. Because I know for a fact I've never said I would have sex with her.
I was going to leave, but I'm going to stay.
Total relations with any transgender
I bet you would, Raj. You
But it doesn't matter. That's not even relevant. The fact of the matter is that the language that Manny uses, and this is why it matters, and he's so strict about language, he is using the language of the West. He is trying to mock or somehow grey out the very definitive thing of being an Englishman. Being English is a very specific thing that you have to be, and you are not of that.
Yeah, but you're accusing me of what you're doing.
To be fair, I've never heard Manny say he's English, like he's racially an English person. I've never heard him say that.
Thank you.
I've heard him say like, I'm British, I'm from England.
In fact,
am I from England? England is a geographical location, so I'm
all
from
my live
England.
streams and all my videos, I always refer to myself as British Indian. See, somebody like Banksy comes along,
Indian person,
right?
who
I'm
was
sorry
raised
I
in
called
Britain.
you a pretend conservative that's now going to all these right-wing rallies when you're really a leftist bum pussy. I know that really rubs you up the wrong way.
I don't use leftist language.
Everybody can go back
know
to
what an
all my
Englishman is.
live streams and have a look at what I've said previously.
I know what an
always
Englishman
refer
is.
to myself as
I
a
know what an
British
Englishman
Indian.
is.
Not once have I referred myself as a English person.
Yeah, I've never heard him say he's English, to be honest. But you forgot pornographer,
and everybody
No.
needs to know this is what you call a classic
No.
Iranian
When I ask
bum
someone,
pussy.
where are you from? And they say, I'm an Englishman. I know what that means.
who
It
said
seems
that?
you don't know what that means.
Who said
you don't
that
know
on
what
this
that
panel?
means.
But who said
You're
that
now
on this panel?
you want to muddy
You're
the waters.
talking
Well,
shit.
England is a geographical location,
It
and
is a geographical
there are set of
location, you idiot. England
nobody
is a-
knows what British
England
culture
is
really
a
is.
country.
The
You're
fact
getting
is
mixed up.
that when I say to someone, and
You're getting mixed up with England and English, Banksy. I've just muted you. I'm going to unmute you.
Yeah.
You're getting mixed up with England and English. That's the point I'm trying to get through to
if
you.
someone says
You've
to
got
me-
to respect the English language and make
if someone
sure
says,
what
if
you
I ask
say
someone, where are you
means what
from?
you say.
And they say, I'm from Japan, and they look Japanese, I assume I'm going to make a certain level of assumption that they are of that people. They are of that tribe.
You're getting
But
mixed
you
up
see,
with-
you want
you're
to,
getting
you want
mixed up
again.
with
This is
from
leftist
Japan
conversation.
and
This is
Japanese.
leftist talk. This
It's
is
not.
leftist conversation. They want to muddy the waters of what it is to be an English.
Don't you dare call my bro lefty, man. That's
Listen.
like calling him a tranny lover or something. Come on, dude, stop it.
Listen, Banksy.
Because he
listen-
uses that language.
Oh, God.
Next, I'm going to kick you from the studio unless you just.
No, don't kick him. He's making it fun, man. Come on. Let's have a good conversation.
He's talking shit, but think about it. If somebody says they are from Japan, they are from Japan, but that doesn't make them Japanese. This is the point he's trying to make, but this is the point I'm trying to make, but he's purposely, because he's angry, because I've taken the piss out of him, or maybe he's been drinking, I don't know, he's kind of purposely trying to create an argument. Nobody here on this panel has called themselves English. The only person that's actually
You think,
English,
can I ask you,
one minute, right? Yeah. The only person that's English genetically is Jordan, right? But are we all from the geographical location England? Of course we are, because I know every single one of your postcodes, and I know you're definitely from England. I'm sorry, but I haven't made the rules up of the English language. I just adhere to them.
So, are you in agreement with, like, because I've never really spoken about it, like, I don't think no matter how long I'll be here, I will ever suddenly become an Englishman, because I believe an English person to be, and it's going to sound controversial, a European white, normally Anglo-Saxon with Celtic kind of mixture, right? And I'm always going to be a Punjabi from the Indian subcontinent.
That's generally my opinion as well, to be honest. But I don't really like if somebody said to me, "Oh, can you make an argument against that?" I would say I don't think there is an argument against that, because it's a perfectly sane argument. But if you want me to kind of bend the rules of the English language, saying, "Manny, you can't be from England because genetically," it's like, well, no, that being from England means two different things. If
I agree with you.
If you are saying you can't be English, then say you can't be English, Manny. Don't say you're not from England. It just look. I can't pretend to be low IQ. It's not. Why should I?
Yeah, I mean, if a Chinese person goes to India, they can be Indian Chinese, right? But they can't be Indian ethnically ever, unless they intermarry, right? Who is that? What's that?
Say that again. Say that again.
If you come
So
across,
someone, if sorry, can I just finish the answer?
Sorry.
Let me check. Because
Go on, Raj.
basically, what I'm saying, if a Chinese person goes to the Punjab, they will be national in terms of nationality. They will be Punjabi or Indian, but they could never be ethnically a Punjabi. They will always be an Indian Chinese, right?
100%.
Unless they marry into the people of that land, and generations down the road, they could become that.
Yeah. Agreed.
I don't even think generationally you can become that.
Like if you marry into, say, a white, say an Indian, Chinese marries an Indian,
You're
then
just be
it
breeding
becomes
half
mixed.
breeds. You're just going to breed half breeds. You're not.
Are you like
you're
a
half-breed.
purity spiral kind of guy?
No, I'm just
I
a realist.
told you
I'm
he
just
was
a
a- I
realist.
told you he was
I'm
a-
just
I told you
realist
he was a
about what
lefty.
people are.
He's a real
and the fact
Aryan
is,
from
but
Iran.
the
That's
fact
what
of
he
the
thinks.
matter is that these people now getting back to the original
But
argument.
look at
was
the
what I was saying.
hypocrisy of Banksy. Banksy, born in Iran, is Iranian genetically, but has the Union Jack behind him.
But that's fine.
So,
Yeah, but I think it's brilliant. I generally support Banksy as we know. But look at the hypocrisy of his argument.
No, but he's a
what is
British
hypocritical
Iranian.
about being proud
Exactly,
of being
and that's
Britain?
whatever I ever referred to myself.
But I
So
don't
what do you
refer to
refer to
myself as an
yourself
English.
as?
I'm not an Englishman. I'm still an Iranian
Are
who
you from
lives in
England?
Iran and loves England.
Oh, we're not English, man. That's a
Are you
race.
currently from England?
No.
Banksy?
No, I am from Iran. See, this is what I'm saying about you confusing the language. Most
am not
people, when you
confused,
ask them, where are you from?
Yeah, but
they mean,
you are
where
not
is your
born.
origin from?
But you
If
were
someone
never
asks
born.
me,
You're missing the
if someone
point.
asks
You were
me,
never
where am I
born.
from? I
but you
know
were never
to
born in
say
England, were you?
Iranian. I'm
Yeah, but
from
you were never
Iran,
born
but
in
I was
England, were
raised
you?
in Britain.
Raj, were you born in England?
Yeah, I'm born in England, but I'm not
Right,
ethnically an Englishman.
I was born in England. I'm not ethnically English either, but I'm from England because I was born in England.
But the
Yeah,
fact of the matter
we're from
is,
the UK and England. Like, obviously.
when
Yeah.
someone
exactly.
asks you, Manny, where are you from? They're not asking you where you were born. They
shut
can
up,
see it
Banksy.
from your face
You
and from
fucking
your
low IQ.
demeanor that you are not English and you're
but
not
no, who's
from
disputing
England.
that?
You are
But no one's
from
disputing that.
elsewhere. So when
no
someone
one's
asks you
disputing that.
in common language
But
and in
no one's
common
disputing
parlance,
that.
when
Are
people
you
ask you where
listening?
you from, you are not going to say,
fuck's sake.
I am from England, and they look at you.
Shut up. How many times?
Oh,
have you
let him
got to
back
fucking-
on, man. Let him back
No.
on, dude. You said.
He's talking absolute garbage, and we're going to finish soon anyway.
No, let him on, man. Come on. There's a good little to and fro, man.
Yeah, but you want some drama before you go off, and then you can do all your drama things.
No, but I've never really had this conversation. No, to be fair on you, I've never ever heard you say
look.
I'm an Englishman or anything.
It was just completely low IQ. What he was saying. All right, look. Do we need to finish off anything of the Red Heifer situation?
No. I think we've spoken about it. But maybe we can go more into. I want to look at some videos and stuff, and maybe I'll talk to Jordan again in the future.
I wanted to see the Ali Dawa versus Gurmat Singh video, but I can't find that anywhere.
Yeah, that was a bit of a weird one. He thought he was a white Englishman, so he was mocking him about, white English culture. Going out, look at him, he's come here drunk with his bald head and all that kind of, not realising he's an Indian Punjabi.
Yeah, but where can I find that video?
It could be on TikTok, to be honest with you, rather than his YouTube page.
Oh, TikTok. I don't really use TikTok. See if
Yeah, a lot of the videos are on there now, so you might have to find it from there.
do you have a link?
Oh, God. I'm on an Android phone, so I have to shut everything down. No.
Okay, let me have a look.
I can't.
Ali Dawa
On TikTok. Good. Just say, I think they labelled it Tommy Robinson EDL thing.
I've got Gurmat Singh's channel.
Yeah, Banksy said Manny can't stand to lose an argument. Pride is a sin, Manny. Oh God, he's using religion against us. What a damn atheist.
It's okay. When you demoted to the chat, then you can chat shit all you want. So let me just share this screen. Can you help me just find which one of these things it is?
Someone just put it in the chat if you can find it. Where is it? I think it's the top one, right? The first one, no?
This
Isn't
one.
it?
If you were to convert to Christianity,
Oh no, it's not.
I would never. Oh,
No, Good, good. I don't think it's on his channel. I think it's on Ali Dawa, the Ali Dimwits.
Is this his channel here?
But you know what's so embarrassing? Look how they cover up the women, right? And you know, sometimes I've seen the video without them covered up. They're not even showing anything. It's literally they're just wearing normal clothes. But they're covering like they're naked. It's very odd behavior. Let me have a look. Which one is it? It's not going to be Gurmat Singh. It's going to be, they're probably labeled it EDL or something.
I'm trying to find Ali Dawa's channel, so which is his channel?
Oh, God, I don't know. Man. I can't even turn this off because I can't do two things at once on my one.
Yeah, but you can have a look at my screen. And
yeah, I am looking at it, I'm looking at it.
So which
none of these. I think it's something about Tommy Robinson fan confronts Ali Dawa.
I found his channel here.
Tommy Robinson fan confronts Ali Dawa. It was around 2 months ago.
2 months ago? It wasn't from yesterday?
No. It was a little while ago. A month and a half, 2 months ago.
Oh, right.
I see he didn't put the video up of him making his wife communicate with a whiteboard. Remember that one?
Say that again?
I see he hasn't put up the video when he makes his wife communicate via a whiteboard. So when she can't speak, she has to use a whiteboard and write. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
You've not seen it?
You made that famous on the internet.
Did I? Oh, yeah. But, and do you know what's so sad about him? He actually doesn't even understand how bad the optics are. And this is one of the things I've kind of like confused about. I don't think a lot of Muslims have self-awareness about what looks kind of odd to other people. Like, you know, using a whiteboard to communicate is obviously very, very strange.
Mm. All right, Jordan.
Hello there. For some reason, you all started sounding like Daleks, and then my internet just turned off and came back on again.
Yeah, it was Banksy and Manny were arguing about being English, and I'm obviously not English.
Look, Raj, your best friend Trilla's in the chat.
We're cool now. I've got no issue with Trilla.
Did you kiss and make up?
Well, not kiss, because I'm not a cusser like you. I don't walk around like kissing men.
Oh, he's come on. Is that you, Trilla?
How are you doing, Trilla? Yeah, I think it is him.
Yeah, how you doing, gents? You alright? Can you hear me properly?
Yeah, doing good.
There's another guy called Kashmiri that's come on the panel. Does anybody know him? Kashmiri.
Nah, leave the Kashmiri. What is he going to say?
Sorry, Kashmiri.
What was your thoughts on the thing yesterday? Because I thought it was a bit of a mess, to be honest with you, the march.
I think
you're asking
me
Abdul Triller whether
he's not. He's like Jen Wallace. 1 minute she was Jihadi Jen, and as soon as she said something, she become Jen Wallace the Islamophobe. Now he's become that as well, so he's no longer that. He's been chucked out. He's like the enemy of Islam now. What was your views on that overall thing? Because I thought it was a bit of a mess, to be honest with you.
Okay, I think, well, it's quite interesting. I mean, so I was thinking about going firstly, but then, you know, whether it was going to be crap, I had stuff to do anyway. And, you know, I'm not normally kind of a guy who goes to these kind of, you know, things, right, in general. So, you know, I thought, let me just watch it online. Do you know what I mean? Like, I normally would anyway. So looking at it, interesting how I feel like the numbers were turned down by the police. I felt like that was more than 100,000 to 150, they were saying. Felt like it was about 1 million or 2, and I might be exaggerating, but the numbers, when I saw the people, like, they flooded those streets, you know, from a bird's eye view. There were loads of them, and so I think it was probably about between 1 million and 2. Yeah, so that was obviously why the police want to downplay that. Well, you know, it's obvious, right? When it comes to the actual, I saw a little bit of the stuff on stage, right? I think there were good things and bad things, right? Like the good things that girl on, for example, with the one with the dress, she wasn't allowed to make her speech in school, you know, wearing the Great Britain dress, talking about her culture. I think it was a really nice thing what they done to let her on that platform and speak to the whole world, did it? I mean, that was brilliant. Elon Musk, coming on, that was a highlight. I didn't expect that. I thought, wow, okay.
You had no issue with him calling for violence, and that the only way people are going to come to your door.
I'll get it there. I'll get it there. I mean, that's a whole show in itself, right? When it comes down to what else is it? Like, the tearing of the Palestinian flag and so on, right? And I think was it the ISIS flag they tore? They tore a black and white one as well. I think it was.
It's actually not an ISIS flag. Yeah, it's actually just a normal flag that most Muslims fly, right? But ISIS hijacked it. It's a bit like the Union Jack when the racists hijacked it. It's just I think it just said something about Prophet Muhammad, right? And they just tore it. So.
Right. So I felt like that was pretty messy. That was quite controversial and everything else. So it does still look like, regardless if the thing was about immigration and the problem with that and other government policies, right, that people have a problem with, right, there's still obviously that whole thing again, Islam, which makes it look like a kind of thing where it's against all Muslims, or because the whole Palestine thing is really controversial, dude. I mean, there's a lot of sympathy all around the world, so I didn't think it was a smart thing to do. What else is it? So the Elon Musk thing, I mean, you tell me first what you think of.
There was at least 4 speakers on there that I would say, and I know people say, "Rod, you're an Islamophobe." No, I'm not. At the end of the day, I do not believe that calling for the removal of people and 4 different speakers and calling for violence as the answer. It was productive in any way. If you want to do a march called Unite the Kingdom, fair enough, there's a lot of issues going on, but Tommy Robinson needs to be kind of like responsible. And this is why I've always had an issue with Tommy Robinson per se, even though I support a lot of stuff that he says. It's just too reckless. We're on a tinderbox already, and we don't need the world's richest man talking about people are going to come to your doors and they're going to be doing this, and the only way violence is coming to you. You need to bring violence back. You're gonna cause issues, right?
You know what it is. Yeah, it's like end of the day, he's the money, and like when it comes down to, you can let the money gets away with what they want to get. It's like their demo kind of a thing. They're paid for it, so they're allowed to kind of like say and do whatever. And like you pay for a party. The person, who paid for everything, gets away with, a few things that other people wouldn't get away with.
No, but there was an American lady from America, and she was spouting just, all the Muslims need to go. We're gonna. And there was another guy that did it. So I don't know what his name was. There was another guy. The only ones that I thought were pretty good are Ant Middleton, Katie Hopkins. Weirdly, she was pretty good. Obviously, the people that were singing and stuff's fine. Tommy Robinson himself didn't say anything that I thought was too controversial. But the people he let on, some of them were very reckless in the kind of political time that we got. I don't think it's the word that people need to hear at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, but why do you think he said what he said? I mean, he's supposed to be one of the smartest men in the world. He's definitely one of the richest men in the world. Why do you think he said that, knowing there'd be? Because he's not stupid. He knows what he's doing. Why do you think he chose to say that?
Well, I think he genuinely believes that there's a wolf at the door, right? And whether there is or not, some people say there is, some people say there aren't, right? And he's somebody that has the luxury to be able to say whatever he wants, because there's no repercussions. Because even if you take around 100 billion from him, he's still the richest man in the world, right? So he's going to say what he truly believes, and that's what he does believe.
And you can't even cut the internet off, right? Because he's got Starlink, isn't it? He's got his own internet.
Yeah, so he's probably truly believes what he says. I don't think he's saying, and he has. I was trying to explain this to somebody else. I said he has got a connection to the UK. His grandma was from Liverpool, right? And so obviously he's going to have like a kind of interest in the UK. And I don't think he likes the way things going. Here it is. Gurmut Singh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
Shall we play it?
Yeah,
go for it.
I'm here to ask you a question. You know, last year you made a comment down Speaker's Corner saying you'd allow a 54-year-old Summit man marry a 6-year-old daughter. Can you elaborate on that?
When did I say that?
You said it at Speaker's Corner about a year
ago. Are you Christian?
Well, it's all over YouTube.
Are you Christian?
Pardon?
Are you Christian?
No, I'm not. No.
What's your religion?
Pardon? I'm not here to speak about religion. I'm here to talk about the comment that you made regarding your daughter. I mean, I have worries about your family members. If you're actually saying that a 54-year-old man is allowed to marry a 6-year-old daughter, what is that actually about? Is it down to your religion, or is it down to you as a culture, or as a person? You said it at Speaker's Corner. It's all over YouTube.
No, of course I'll come.
No, that's just coming out of his mouth. All right, so
maybe That's coming out of your mouth.
No. Well, I've actually got evidence to back up precisely what I said. You did say this
Don't come to my face.
Hold on, you're the one that reported in front of me.
Don't come to my face.
Well, I can smell alcohol. It's a bullshit coming out of this mouth.
Don't come to my face, bruv.
Why did you make
Don't come to my face like that, bro.
You made me not speak for the friendly people and sort of people. Try to do that shit too.
What are you gonna do, bro? What are you gonna do, bro? What are you gonna do?
With the film, I
can smell.
I
can smell alcohol. I can smell alcohol.
You made comments. I work for your children.
Ali's drunk. Most pedophiles look like you. You're a pedophile, bro. Most pedophiles look like you. You're the one that made a pedophile. You almost play out here. Shut up, man. Shut up, man. You. You're a coward. You're a coward. You're a coward.
Ali, listen to me. Ali, listen to me. He's drunk.
No, I don't care. Bruv. Yes. You look like a pedo. You look like a pedo.
So when you make the comments down Speaker's Corner, they allow a 54-year-old marry a 6-year-old daughter. What's that about? Is that not paedophilic?
Do you want to talk?
I tell you
You're a coward. You're a coward.
Tommy Robinson told me to tell you.
Listen, Tommy Robinson's a pedophile. You're a pedo. You're a pedo. You're a pedo. Come. Why do you come and talk? Listen. Since you can't do. Listen. Why don't you come and talk? Since you can't do nothing physically.
Answer me why you think that's correct. Answer me what way do you think that's correct?
No, Ali. Stop, Ali. Ali, stop. Come on, Ali.
I understand. Guys, you came to my face. What do you want me to do? The enemies of Islam, brothers and sisters, as you can see.
Shut your fucking mouth. You see,
he's getting braver.
Typical bullshit, isn't it? We all know he said it. We all saw the
He said it twice.
live stream.
He said it twice.
Yeah, exactly. He condones paedophilia quite clearly. And it's completely disgusting. And did you see the whole rhetoric? Typical Speaker's Corner rubbish. They're not going to own up to anything that they said. And
it would be good to pull it up if you got the clip. That'd be really good to play it. You know what I mean?
I do have it somewhere, but it's
there's two. There's one that I heard him. I was literally there and he said it, and another time that it was there before. So what's your overall view? Because I don't think it was a good look personally. I mean, Manny and me have been talking about it, obviously privately. I think, it's going to cause more division, this particular thing. No Muslim is going to go and to a march like that where it's calling for the removal of them and burning their flags and stuff. You're not going to incorporate them into this. The moderate Muslim. I'm talking about the Fuddles and the extremists like Ghost and AQ and them lot. I'm talking about your average Muslim. They're not going to go there.
Yeah, no, I agree. Look, when it comes down to the Sikhs, right, and Hindus as well, right, even like we've always been caught in the crossfires, when it comes down. I was listening to somebody talk about it today about the immigration thing, right? There's another Sikh guy, online, and he was talking about how, a lot of the times we can be very gullible and easily influenced, right? Trying to do the right thing, trying to help these people, trying to help that people, and then we get caught up in the madness, right? Are
you talking about yourself?
No. I'm just
talking. Come on, man, you tried to protect them. You had a good heart.
But in general, the person that was talking about it, right? What you call it? Like, so anyway, he was talking about in general. You know what I mean? About people up in here, about our people, and how he recommended that in general. And I've heard this from other people like Bups as well, saying that we should try to just stay out of other people's kind of madness, innit? Yeah, don't get too involved in it. But it is hard not to get involved in it. We're part of this country. We're part of this. World. So we should kind of get involved. But I understand the politics where it comes to, for example, the Muslims and Tommy Robinson lot, right? For example, right? It can be really freaking difficult, and then to find middle ground.
But I've been talking about this on TikTok because I'm not really on YouTube because Sikhs are like, there's a lot of problems with Jat and them on there. And I'm saying to people, we don't need to choose in it. There's a middle ground. Like we don't need to side with in my opinion, I know people ain't going to like this, but I'm like, I don't think we need to choose in it. We don't need to choose. I'm a British Punjabi Sikh, right? There's a middle ground. We don't need to go to the Tommy Robinson kind of side because I think my thing is with Tommy Robinson after seeing yesterday, I think it's gone too far in terms of like the people speaking. Yeah, and I know people can say he didn't speak, but he allowed them to speak, and he's the one that probably said it's okay, right? So you're responsible. If I do a march and they're spouting certain things, I'm going to have to take responsibility for it, right? And so we can't go down this route where we need to let them. I know Manny's going to get better, but I believe that the Muslims believe that they're British, Muslim, Pakistani, British, Bengali Muslims. We need to embrace those people to allow them to be the people that are speaking, not AQs and ghosts and them.
What do you mean we need to embrace them? Why can't they
it's not me. I won't say we, so I don't know what word to use, but let's just say they need to be allowed to come into the fold of that we're British and we want the best for the country, right?
And what if their religion and their culture doesn't allow that to happen? Now what?
Yeah, obviously we've spoken about this.
Now what? Now what you're gonna do? So now you're accusing indirectly. You're accusing all British people of not playing their part. So we accept them, but their religion, their culture, saying no, you got to target them. You got to treat them as dhimmis. You've got to groom their children, and you've got to tax them on. Now what you're gonna do, Raj?
I can't believe I'm the one defending the Muslim Ummah. I might get my lullah snipped tomorrow. Let me just say, look, I think a lot of Muslims are gonna have to. Let me try and rephrase this. I think a lot of Muslims are kind of reforming their own faith within their own kind of like head, right? They're taking what they believe to be the good parts and ignoring the bad parts, right? And I know you're not gonna like that, Manny. I think you need to allow them to do that, right?
Yeah, but there's a difference between the Muslims and the Islamists in that regard. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So your average, the Islamists, you can't do nothing with, right? They have the hatred like the far right. Yeah, they're part of the same coin. Yeah. So someone like AQ and all those guys, they are unreformable in my opinion. But then again, I used to know Majid Nawaz, and he used to be an extremist, and he's now changed. So maybe it can happen, but it takes a lot of effort to do.
It can, yeah, you're right. But then again, like, it is complicated because of that whole brotherhood thing and everything else, right? And people are gonna, especially when it's looking like a two-sided affair between, foreigners and, like people that are originally here, you could say, right? But yeah, it's complicated because again, when it comes down to the whole thing about, so I heard this argument, right? And I don't know how much truth there is to it. When it comes down to them, let's assume that they are generally racist, right? But they are, like the Tommy Robinson lot, and they want us all out. Let's just take that as a hypothetical, yeah. And but instead of literally going for everybody, they go for the most unpopular, being obviously the Muslims, because they've been attacked all around the world for lots of different things, right? So it would be easier to go for them first, right? Based on everything that's going on, and plus, they are the second or first biggest religion out there outside of Christianity, right? So it's a thing where, like, if that happens, and let's just say they deport all of them, then who's next? You know what I mean? Because the thing is,
I think you two are fucking pussies, right? Let me put it another way, right?
I don't care. I've been getting it for like 24 hours, right?
I don't
Not just on here, but on private as well.
Let's just say that worst case scenario, both of your fears come true. But if that means that all three of us on this panel have to leave the country, and the result of that is that everybody feels safe and no more British white girls or non-Muslim girls are not going to be targeting a rape.
No,
I think that's a fair price to pay.
No, it's not. No, it's not. So when it comes down to it, we have to make the
sacrifice. I'll let you argue with this.
We have to make, so innocent people have to make a sacrifice, right, for what the fucking fucked up people are doing. That's unacceptable.
No, but go on.
This is my home. This is my home. I've been brought up here my entire life. This is all I know. And now you're telling me I have to fucking leave my home because some fucking groomers and pedos decided to fucking do some fucked up
great
shit.
Attitude. Now get out there next time Tommy does a demo and take the British flag and you let everybody know. Just like me and Raj used to do it. Do you know when me and Raj because you're a pussy now. But when me and Raj used to go, do you know how many people that were there out with us? Hardly anybody. In fact, me and Raj used to walk past each other thinking that we didn't know each other and stuff like
we pretended that we did know. So there's one more Asian there. He'd go around the corner, put a little hat on. There's another one. Then he'd go around again, put a little tie on. I'm like, there's another one. And I'd film it. No, but the thing is true. Look, the thing is, me and Manny kind of obviously he's my bro, right? But I strongly disagree with this because I think I don't want to lose my humanity, right? I don't want to lose that. I believe there are genuine Muslims that I grew up with them and stuff like that. And I think there is a middle ground, right, where we can get to the stage that we're all British. I'm never going to be ethnically English, right? And we can respect the host nation's culture and, you know, the Christian Judeo foundation without, you know, changing it, right? But that, unfortunately, what's happening, I think, which is annoying a lot of people, is that Muslims are trying to change the foundation of the land, like the actual structure, not only through demographics.
But that's Sharia law, and that's the Islamic system, isn't it? Where they go in and they take over a country, they target, they tax, and so that is the Islamic system.
I was watching your video, by the way, Manny, literally yesterday. Like what you know, that was interesting. The when you were talking about the breakdown of the sex slavery, concubines, and stuff like that. So I haven't gone through all of it. I watched a few, you know, I watched about an hour of it in the beginning. But yeah, interesting. Obviously, like there's a lot of things, you know what I mean, that have happened that have obviously probably even spilled into today's society. The thing is, right, it's really hard to like...
Before you go on, that's a very good point, and that's a very intelligent point, Triller, because we as British Punjabis, we understand the Islamic system because we were taught by our parents of what they did in India. You see, all you now have to do is two more things. I was saying this to Raj. Now go research other Islamic empires. Go research what the recent countries like Syria and Afghanistan, how they were formed, and now go research the torturing techniques of the Muslim grooming gangs or the European grooming gangs, and you will see it's all one big, massive Islamic system.
Do you know what this feels like? It feels like you're Anakin Skywalker, I'm Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Triller is Luke. And I'm going to try and bring him back to from the dark side, right? And the thing is, like, look, I understand there are problems. I was warning against this. The reason I was so vocal, because I knew it was going to get to this stage. I knew if the Pakistani community didn't actually tackle the grooming situation, the indigenous population is going to explode at some point. If they didn't tackle the fact that at the moment there's 43,000 Muslims on the watch list, that's 70% of the terror watch list, but they only make up 5%. It's gonna explode in it. And if people don't start integrating and actually embracing the fact that we're British and also whatever we come from, it's going to start annoying the host nation, right?
Look, here's the plus side, right? Like when it comes down to it, look, most people appreciate honesty, right? Rather than like, you know, people fucking, you know, wrapping shit up in cotton wool, right? So they could have not done that and made it a little bit more PG and, you know, I mean, all encompassing and humanitarian, whatever, yeah? But they didn't do that. They stuck with their guns, right? They literally went for the same thing, right, that they consider to be the biggest problem, you know what I mean, like in this country that, you know, doesn't assimilate well, right, in general, you know what I mean, and that being Islam, right, not the Muslims, it's that Islam, and then obviously the Muslims, you know what I mean, that, you know, make that into creation. Because look, if you look at like how takeover is done in general, right, it does start with foundations, and foundations being obviously people coming in, you know, conversions and infrastructure, being mosques being built all over the country, right? It is the starting, you know what I mean, of something that is, you know, of a takeover. So I can see that happening, and I can see why people would be concerned if the fears of the reality of like this country being, you know, that is their goal. Their goal is you know, a takeover. Forget about the girls, the Muslim girls that go clubbing and you know, that don't go to mosque, right? And the guys that are just chilling, that don't do their prayers, right? We're talking about everybody else that, you know what I mean, is pushing, you know what I mean, their agenda, their political agenda. You know?
Oh my God, I can't believe I'm about to say I completely agree with Triller.
I know you and Triller are going to be best mates, and me and you are going to end up like, you know, getting worse and worse. Before I go on, I am not getting soft. I've always had this stance, right, that I'm very, even on TikTok, I'm very tough on the Muslims on there, saying that you've got to clear out the bad apples in your community. You've got to acknowledge that the reason why there is issues going on there is because of the situation happening in the past. But, you know, I still believe in my heart that, you know, your average Muslim person, because I grew up with them. You have to understand, I'm from Leighton, right? I'm not from Southall. I grew up with Pakistanis, and the Pakistanis I grew up, and you probably say many, they weren't really Muslims. I can understand that because they were very secular, right? But they were very, what I call, more British in terms of how they were than their children or their grandkids.
Their own
And
people, but their own people are saying that they are misguided. They are not Muslims, right? Like I had Jordan M, right? You know, like in two minds
white
about
savior,
Sadiq Khan.
the white savior of Muslims.
Well, he's one of the nice guys, I think, on these platforms, right? Like in terms of his etiquette and the way he speaks, even though I think he's disingenuous, right? You know, he even said, I asked him about Sadiq Khan. He was like, well, yeah, I don't really think he is a Muslim because, and you know, same thing AQ said, right? You know, X, Y, and Z. So it's like, and where I listened to a show on LBC with an interview with Sadiq Khan, and now he said, you know, obviously he's a practicing Muslim, but they are quick to take him out. You know,
absolutely fuck Jordan M because he's another one that turned up at Speaker's Corner and he tried to justify child marriage. Jordan, you were going to say something, bro. Go ahead.
Jordan M, before we say Jordan, I was going to say Jordan.
No, this Jordan. Open your eyes,
sorry,
UK, Jordan.
Sorry, man.
Jordan, what were you going to say, mate?
I totally agree. The Quran, you look at the words in the Quran, these people, they go to Islamic schools, and we don't even know what they talk about in these mosques. It's strange how these mosques can get all ages, and they go down there all the time, and the churches are empty. We don't know what they're talking about. You look at the Quran, and it's all about takeover. How to take over a place or a country, and what you should do, and how to treat your captives, that's the problem.
There's two parts. So one is the peaceful side, and the other one is the war side that you're referring to.
Yeah.
The takeover side.
Yeah, but I have to say, look here. When I realised a lot of the issues within Islam comes from the hadiths, right? And I'm not saying there's no issues in the Quran, but the hadiths are the main problem because they kind of elaborate on certain things and kind of explain them in the way that they believe it to be. And a lot of the time it can be negative, right? And a lot of people are rejecting the hadiths now because they're uncomfortable with them. So I think Islam needs its own kind of reformation.
Yeah, let me ask you this, right? When it comes down to the discrepancies, the differences between our faiths, right? Like in general, fundamentally, look, they are pushing hard on, you know what I mean, what they believe in, right? They think we're like, you know what I mean, one of the worst people out here because we associate God and man together,
this,
right?
Man, he's loving this.
No, but honestly, I'm not trying to impress anybody. I'm just literally.
I know, but it's just so weird that.
Let him speak, Raj. Stop interjecting him. Go ahead, Triller.
So when it comes down to it, right, it's a thing of like, you know, they got the pushback from the Christians, yeah, and they've kind of like taken a back step in it, yeah. As soon as that calms down, they'll go for it again. And I went on my rampage because they were going for the 6 unprovoked, you know what I mean, right, unchallenged. I literally had done a whole stream about all the 3 people on the same day just say F the Sikhs. Yeah, the Sikhs should have been oppressed even more than they were. And I'm talking about like where babies, right, were taken out of the wombs and their, you know, limbs were made into necklaces, yeah, and then wrapped around the mother's neck. And they're telling me that the Sikhs should have been oppressed even more than they already were by the Mughal Empire. That's where they fucked up the Mughal Empire. They should have been harder on us, right? And, you know, they tried to extinct us. Remember that, right? And again, when it comes down to, so me understanding everything, right, and looking at history in general and everything else, right, it can get out of hand once again. The world we live in today, thank God the West, right, have all the weapons, have all the might. Thank God. Because if it was the other way around, we'd all be saying alhamdulillah. Yeah.
Put on Purple Effects thingy. So Adnan Rakshit
well said, Triller.
Give him a round of applause. Do the applause thing for him. Go on, add it on.
I'm gonna
and do the boo one for me when I talk.
Okay, this is for Triller. This is for Raj.
And put that thing up, Purple Effects, what he said on there. Oh, yeah, put it up. Yeah, obviously. I said there's a video that Adnan Rakshit has put on his TikTok of me at Speaker's Corner when I first went. And the reason I got so much heat is because I said to Adnan Rashid, I would rather live in a Christian country than a Muslim country under Sharia. And I still say that 100% no matter what, right? Because under Sharia, like, you know, the brutality is like, you know, codified in its doctrine, right? My kind of stance on the whole thing, I still have the same issues that I had before. They've not been resolved.
Yeah, but
right?
we don't need Raj anymore. We've got Triller.
Oh, we got Triller now. You got the new version of Z. What can we do, man? I don't know, man. But yeah, I just don't want to go down a route where I think that everything's there's no hope.
Do you think? Yeah, I enjoyed literally over the last couple of months, like doing what I was doing. I didn't, right? The thing is, I literally like see the situation, right? And it's a thing of like right now, our freedom of speech is under attack, and I think you've always been an advocate for it, you know what I mean, right? And I think, dude, once they take that away with all of these sort of like, Islamophobia laws and so on and so forth, right? Like this country is trying to take away our speech. And I'm really against that because, dude, we're just going to become like a communist fucking country where like China, you get arrested for saying anything against the government if you're caught or whatever, right? These kind of like places. And dude, I don't want our country to be like that. I think Elon Musk doesn't want our country to be like that, which is why he's been a massive, he's given the people a platform with X, buying out X and everything else, right? Which I'm not on, by the way. So yeah, because everything's becoming more censored, and look, people are being killed. But one second there, people are being killed for their opinions. You saw that with Charlie Kirk, right? And I liked what he was doing. I didn't have to agree with everything he said or did, but I liked literally that he was challenging people, you know what I mean, with their minds, right?
Triller. If you didn't live in London, I'd email Tommy Robinson and get you on the stage.
No, you'd go over and endorse him. You freaking!
All of a sudden,
I knew you'd get on with him, no?
Triller has actually been able to make a speech, man.
I know he's no. I think Triller's, kind of like on a good path into he's understood one thing. No matter how good the Muslim is, and there are some great, they're never going to have your back over their brothers. It just doesn't happen. Once in a blue minute, it's happened to me multiple times, right? That I'm like, okay, this is right, this is wrong, right? But because there's this code of we got to protect our brother and never align with the kuffar and that cover your brother's sins, there will always be that element. And as Sikhs, we don't have that. Kind of okay, I'm gonna like as we fell out publicly, as I've fallen out with Badmash, K, and all of us. There's only 3 or 4 Sikhs, but all of us, big up Dylan. All of us fell out because you know why? We're all independent thinkers, right? Yeah, do you understand? Like our thought process is okay. Just because he's a Sikh, we're not going to just back him, right? We're going to call him out. Whereas I have found that over the time that there is this kind of component that this is my Muslim brother. I don't care how much I like this other guy. I'm going to take his side over him, even if I pretend to be on his side.
You see, dude, like, it's the thing where, like, initially, so getting to know both of you, right, in the past, right, like, you were self-employed, right? You were kind of doing your art and, making your own money kind of through that and whatever else you were doing. And Manny's got his own business, I think, right, doing his own thing. Whereas me, obviously, I was, like, looking to, coming on these panels, starting out life, right? I just came out of a divorce. I'm looking to get, start a family at some point with somebody, right? And I'm at that point right now, right? I'm looking to get married again. I'm looking to obviously settle down again, right? And everything else. But the thing is, right, understanding that, where Manny just said, oh, you should be out there doing the thing, right? Like, waving the flag and whatnot. It is really difficult in this today's society because the left have made it's like, cancel culture, right? They want to go for your jobs. They want to go for your livelihood. They want to literally get any fucking dirt on you to just shut you down, call you a racist, call you a fucking whatever. Do you know what I mean? You Islamophobe, right? That is their thing, right? Character attacks all day long. And that's what Ghost is doing, all day long, for example, right? Him and...
it's happening to a Sikh called Bobby Singh online, on TikTok. They went to his estate, he just crashed it, and then they got arrested the night before the Tommy Robinson event. And they've been attacking him.
Bobby Singh's
from Love Your Postcode. Yeah, Birmingham, yeah. So they've smashed up his thing, they doxed his family, put his kids' pictures out. Jan them have been constantly doing videos about going to his place.
But that's between the London kind of Shira Punjab and the Birmingham Shira Punjab, right? That's between they've always had like a little bit of a friction, right?
No, I'm talking about Jat. No, Jat. You remember Tune? Jat, Luton, and Dogger.
Sorry, hold on. Hold your thought. My freaking headphone just went. Give me one second, bro.
Okay, we should be, gentlemen. Let Jordan come in as well, but we need to be finishing soon because I've got an early morning start.
Okay, yeah.
Jordan?
All right, go. Say that again.
Is my mic working again?
Go on, Jordan.
Can I just quickly just finish that off? It's not against Sheriff. It's about you know a Tune, who used to be Jacked, Dogged, and Luton. They've been attacking him.
They've been attacking Bobby Singh.
Yeah, so basically they've been doing loads of live streams saying that he's an Islamophobe. So as people went to it and they were telling people to go to his business and do X, Y, Z, and someone went there and smashed the window. They've then been putting out pictures of his family and stuff, and also going to his Gurdwara. And on top of that, now they got him arrested the night before the event, right? So they've been attacking him. Like, yeah, he got arrested the night before, but they let him go because they said no. Yeah, they tried. Do you know they tried to do that with me as well? They called MI5. I haven't really. I once, you know, obviously Ghost and encouraged that guy to go to my Gurdwara. They also in 2019. I haven't really spoken about this, but they reported me to MI5, and MI5 has to look into it. So they come to my house. Obviously, I had nothing to hide. Do you know what they reported me on? That, you know, my drawings of like Chote Sahibs are there, Baba Deep Singh, that I was radicalizing the children. And so I showed it and I said, hold on, if you go to a church and there's a picture of Jesus Christ on the cross, that doesn't mean that you're radicalizing Christians, right? It's just artwork, right? And so they just left and they were saying,
even in the Havelock Gurdwara, the biggest picture artwork there is of I think Banda Singh Bahadur with his head cut off, like literally in one of the biggest temples in Europe. I mean,
yes, what I'm trying to say is that they will use very underhand techniques, right? I would never send someone to someone's Gurdwara, no matter what, but they threatened to do it to you. They've done it to me, and they're doing it to this guy Bobby Singh. They're sending people to the temple and stuff, and going for him in real life, right?
So you're right. You can see why I'm literally like, you know what I mean, always been a bit worried, right, in terms of like it spilling over into real life, because obviously, you know what I mean, there's consequences to everything. Do you know what I mean, right? I like to have reasonable discussions, right? I like to play devil's advocate as well. You know what I mean? Talk about the pros and the cons, right? Like I just done with you guys. You know what I mean? Looking at the ads and the dis ads of things. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's just mad. The backlash. Well, your opposition, put it that way. The opposition are the left in terms of like they might be on the right, you know, with their, you know, being a Muslim. And you know, because you know any religious group would be on the right, but you know they're using the left to freaking the lefty tactics to win. You know what I mean?
Well, obviously the left always gets eaten up by the, like in Iran when the left sided with the Islamic extremists, like, you know, the head, and then they just got rid of them afterwards.
The left are the strongest at the moment. Like, and this is why I was in support of the rally, right, happening, regardless of it being perfect, right? I was like, you know what? This is important for this country, literally, to stand up. You need people to stand up against the government. So you need something unified. The flag thing was brilliant, honestly, absolute brilliant PR, right? I thought that was genius.
I think the flag should be everywhere, basically. You just put them up so everyone it gets normalized.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, you know, like I think Injection was like online saying they could never come to South to do that. And it's true, they couldn't, right? You get kicked right back.
No, but it depends how you do it. If you're going in there to be like, you know, causing trouble. But I'm talking about if the council just said, okay, on every kind of like main road, we're going to have a Union Jack, that's fine.
Okay, gentlemen, maybe you and Triller can get a room someday. And
you get a room with him. You two are like more aligned than me.
Yeah, big up Triller, man. I didn't realize he's kind of done a full 360, and now
dude, he's now the #1 enemy. I'm like small fries now. He's being chased about all over the place.
Calling Raj Mahmood from now on.
Okay, no. You need to call me Raj Saeed Mahmood Akbar.
Okay, look, I'm going to finish the live stream. I've actually got work.
Yeah, I need to go as well
tomorrow morning. So can we just take it in turns and just give our goodbye speech and off we go one by one, please?
Yeah, cool. Go with go on, Jordan. You got something to say? I'll think about it.
Is my mic working?
Yes, go ahead.
Excellent. It's like this phone. When I mute my mic, sometimes when I unmute it doesn't unmute. So yeah, it's been a bit of a pain. What a brilliant night, guys.
It's been good.
Yeah, we can do part 2 on the on the because I want to look at some videos.
It's
I might
Jordan
find some.
speaking, Raj.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. Sorry, good.
Give you a farewell speech, Jordan.
Yeah, we'll get some videos together and we'll do another one in it. Yeah, like I thought uniting the kingdom yesterday. Right, I think that's what they did. I think everybody has to realise this is a Christian country, and we're uniting Christian values. Right, as long as everybody agrees that, like Raj said, he'd much rather be in a Christian country than an Islamic country. Right, if we don't keep this country full with its Christian values, the foundations it's built on, we've lost it for good. And I think yesterday, even though I was there, but I never actually got to the event, there was at least 500,000 to a million of us shut out off the bridge, right? So what you saw, it was much, much bigger, right? It was insane. You couldn't move in London, right? It was absolutely insane. But it's keeping the Christian values, right? And that's what we need to do. Islam, I'm afraid, is our biggest enemy when it comes to the Christian values, and we don't need Islam to keep growing at the rate it is and growing politically at the rate it is, because otherwise everything will change, and before you know it, we'll wake up in a Islamic country and it'll all be gone, because then there won't be a fight back from the Christians. There won't be a united group of people who want to live in a Christian country. It'll all be gone.
Right, brilliant. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you for coming.
Am I allowed to speak, or should I let
One minute. Let me say bye to Jordan. But thank you for coming on, Jordan. I'm sorry for all the interruptions. I know you're a bit more polished than the rest of us here on the panel, but I appreciate you coming on, brother. I'll speak to you soon.
Okay, mate. Thank you. See you all soon.
See you, mate. All right, next.
I'll let Triller go in it, and then I'll do the kind of final farewell.
No problem. All right. So with the event yesterday, right, I think it was a good thing with the numbers, turning up, the amount of people that turned up. It showed unity. It literally showed that people are sick and tired of the way the country is being run, right? And we want it to be run a lot better, right? I think there was I heard it should have been in Trafalgar Square, but I think Sadiq Khan, the best mayor ever, literally changed the venue last minute, right? So it got changed to wherever it was, right? And end of the day, look, and that would have had more access for a lot more people to come down in terms of if they had it at Trafalgar Square. So look, everybody is against this movement. They just don't want it to catch any traction, more than it already has, right? And everybody is against freaking Tommy at the moment. I think Tommy is a lot more popular than freaking any politician at this current time. I would go as far as to say that literally everybody knows about him. He's he's more popular than Farage, and I think Ben, the other guy, Ben, he's pretty popular. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, I think he's got a lot of freaking weight. And we got to take it seriously. I think the government have to take it seriously. When it come down to it, what he's fighting against in terms of the Muslims in general, or Islam in general, in that regard, especially the kind of like the political aspect of it. Look, they're literally grooming, right, our children across the country. They're literally out there freaking converting our children as well, right? And I'm sure that's not fucking legal. There have to be better safeguarding measures, right, to prevent children from freaking converting. You know what I mean? Because it's bullshit if they haven't been, convinced to do otherwise, right? I'm sure they didn't come to those conclusions on their own. So yeah, honestly, the country's in a mess, and we need to sort it out. So I think yesterday, was a first step in that, sorting it out. Not perfect. You're going to get a few freaking, wrongings in that place too, but it's a step in the right direction, in my opinion. So yeah, big up.
All right, brilliant. Triller, I will just, before you go, I just want to say, thank you very much for coming on, and also whether you agree with me or not, just keep on improving. The steps that I've seen, for me, it's a bit of a shock because I thought it was going to be the old Triller. I had heard rumours about your improvement. I didn't believe any of it, but on a genuine basis,
Yeah,
for you
rumour.
you know, on a genuine basis for you, I think this is a great improvement, and do it for yourself. And yeah, keep up the good work.
I think one last thing. I think it's really hard, right, to be brave, you know, and true right now in this current atmosphere that we have, where people are being cancelled, people are being arrested just for speaking and giving their opinion, you know. So it is a very difficult time we're living in today. So, you know, I think people should be aware of the situation that we're all in. But
Sure,
yeah,
sure.
big up
All
everyone.
right, brilliant. All right, thanks for coming on. All right,
Triller,
Raj.
take care, man. Sassigaldi.
All right, Raj, all yours, mate.
All right, so I'm probably going to get the booze now at the end. I do believe, like I've said from day dot, from 2017 when I had Speaker's Corner, that there's a massive problem with the grooming epidemic that hasn't been resolved. There's also a problem with Islamic extremism, with 43,000 people on the watch list, which makes up 70% of their caseload. There's problem with immigration, where people are coming into this country that we don't know who they are, where they're coming from, and we need to make sure that they're just not freely roaming the streets and document them. And if they're not allowed to stay there, we need to just make sure they go back. And a zero tolerance policy in terms of if someone commits a crime and they've come over there, they just need to be deported, right? Especially if it's a serious crime. Now, when it comes to the march on yesterday, I think the idea was good in United Kingdom. I think overall the way that it was organised was good. Not too much violence or anything. A lot of people turned up, but I cannot agree with half the speakers that were on there. The good ones at Middleton, KE, whatever her name is, one or two others, but there's a couple on there that I think were basically full on, inciting violence, right? Without actually saying it directly, some of them, but they were inciting violence, and I can't condone that no matter what. Should Sikhs align with Tommy Robinson? As somebody that, knew him from before, me personally, until he can kind of like disassociate himself from some of these people that he had on the stage, then I don't think we should, because I don't think it's a good look. Yeah. At the end of the day, we can still agree that there are issues without losing our humanity. So obviously I'll get booed for this, Manny, but yeah, that's what I'll say.
All right, brilliant. Thank you so much, Raj. Thanks for coming on. Always making the show an epic show wherever you go. So I really appreciate you, bro. Thanks for coming on and sharing your opinion.
All right, take care, and make sure you give Triller a little handshake afterwards.
All right, thanks for coming on, Raj.
Take care, man. Take care.
All right. Well, what do I want to say? I want to thank Tommy Robinson. I thought yesterday's show demonstration was fantastic. I love my country. I think it was a Patriots season ticket, if you like. I thought the speeches were good. I tend to agree a little bit with Raj. Some of them perhaps were a bit OTT. But overall, it was a great demonstration. And I think it was a job well done. Probably not enough time to get all the speeches in, but it is what it is. Now, what I do want to say is a little bit important, and I want to finish off with this, is we can have a million Tommy Robinsons, we can have a million Donald Trumps, but in this country especially, but anywhere in the democratic world, nothing is going to change until the following is achieved. Unless we can hold politicians accountable for the pre-election promises that they make, then nothing will change. Unless we can remove parliamentary privilege, which currently allows politicians to stand up in Parliament and lie and falsify the truth in order to pass laws and legislation, nothing will change. I know some of you support Ben Habib, I know some of you support Nigel Farage, and the rest of you support whoever you want to support. but nothing is going to change. Democracy has already failed. All you are doing is propping up a failed system. Unless the two things that are pointed out can be changed, which is removing parliamentary privilege and making sure that politicians are held accountable for pre-election promises, then it's time just to completely turn to the Bible and let God take full control, which I think is the best option anyway. Closing thoughts and prayers to Charlie Kirk's family and to Charlie Kirk. What a hero, and what a sad situation where people feel that they have a right to take away the life of a loving husband, a loving father, a believer, and somebody that was just looking out for his country and generally the Western world.
Together.
Elion, the Most High One, bright morning star, the risen sun, Adonai, sovereign Lord above, clothed in justice, mercy and love. You are my God, forever the same, forever the same, mighty and holy, I bless your name. Alpha, Omega, beginning and end. You are my God, my Savior, my everything. Jehovah Rapha, Lord who heals, your power and truth forever revealed. Jehovah Nisi, my banner raised, to you alone belongs all praise. The great I am, unchanging one, who was and is to come. Emmanuel, God with us still, ruler of all, whose word fulfilled. You are my God, forever the same, mighty and holy, I bless your name. Alpha, Omega, beginning and end. Yeah, you are my God, my Savior, my everything. Jehovah Shalom, my perfect peace, your love and grace will never cease. The rock of ages, my hiding place, Redeemer King, full of grace. Lamb of God, who bore my shame, Yeshua, the matchless name. Lion of Judah, strong and bold, Ancient of days, whose truth is told. You are my God, forever the same, mighty and holy, I bless your name. Omega, beginning and end. You are my God, my Savior, my everything. Abba, Father, lift you high. Holy Spirit, be ever nigh. Counselor, comforter, guiding light. Your presence turns death to life. You are my God, you are my God. everything.